Good evening, everybody. Oh, I timed that with the music. That was freaking epic. I didn't even mean to. I wasn't even looking at the tab. I wish I was that cool. Hello and welcome to another Component Cast show. Today we are doing a fun little one-shot being helmed by Mikey. But before we get on to whatever tonight's broadcast is, oh gosh, the person that I need to normally throw to is the person I'm going to throw to twice. So I'm going to do my bit first. If you're enjoying these broadcasts and the mysteriously evil music that's playing right now, holy moly, please consider becoming a Twitch sub. It's one of the best ways to help out the channel, or by becoming one of our patrons. Patrons give us the biggest slice of the pie and, you know, help us keep creating fun little one-shots like this. But, Mikey, what are we playing?
So, we're playing Savage Rifts. It's a setting for Savage Worlds by Pinnacle Entertainment Group. And you can find these online at through Pinnacle's own website or on DriveThruRPG. Savage Worlds is a general setting roleplay system, so basically when you buy the core book, you can play anything from medieval knights all the way up to semi-futuristic, military-esque kind of settings. But we're playing Rifts, which is much more bombastic, wild, and a crazy setting. It's got some wild shit in it, such as part of America is known for its dinosaur herding. Mexico is controlled by a vampiric cabal, and Europe is currently fighting against a demonic incursion while also being the Roman Empire. Welcome to Savage Rifts. We fuck around and you find out. And of course, with the artwork that you'll see today on screen, it's all official Savage Rifts artwork, a vast majority of which is by Chuck Walton.
I'll put some on screen right there. Yeah, Mikey, you got any other normal things that you have to cover?
Of course I do.
Because I ain't doing that spiel.
No, of course I do. So, Midge and I will actually be in Rotterdam at the end of the month. We're going to TwitchCon Rotterdam. So please come up, say hello. We'll be around and we'll hope to network a little bit. So if you're around and you want to work with us, or maybe if you just want to work with Midge directly, or with me directly even, you can come up to us, say hello, and we'll, exchange business cards as we do as prime business people we are here. And as for the podcast channels, you can find them by searching their own individual podcast channels. You can find them by searching the show's title. However, in this case, because we're doing a special or a one-shot, you can find it by searching Component Cast specials on any of the following apps. You can find our Dungeons & Dragons show, the Anarch Chronicles, our Urban Jungle show, Draconian Nights, our Zweihander show, the Great Schism, our Lancer show, It's Just Business, and our specials, including the Late Danger Style RivalZone special, the Grease, Regalis, and Moogle special, and the House of Time Midgeman special, and my special, The Path of Ghosts. On the Podbean, Player FM, Podchaser, Listen Notes, Bloom Play, Apple Podcasts, Overcast Podcast, Castro, Castbox, Podfriend, Podcast Addicts, and Good Pods apps. Shows released on YouTube, on the podcast channels, 12 noon GMT, Friday for Eleanor, Saturday for Lancer, and Sunday for specials. So this will release this Sunday at 12 noon. Mark it. Please remember to turn on your auto downloader on your preferred app, and be sure to leave a review and share it with your friends who are equally as nerdy. Excuse me, I'm trying my best here. Check out our links.
Turn off your audio. Listen in silence.
Listen in silence. Help us.
Feel the hum of the universe. Anyway.
Indeed. You can find it on our merch store, which is in our doors links down below. It's a limited runtime for each show, so once it's gone, once the show is finished airing, the merch is gone. So buy it while it's there. And a little shout out from me to someone who is out there on the internet who I haven't talked to for a very long time, but I want to say this. I'd like to thank Scott. He was my first ever GM, and he introduced me to this system several years ago, and he helped me learn how to be a player and a GM throughout the years. So big shout out to Scott. Hope you're doing well. Hope Salt Lake City's treating you well, buddy. Well,
without further ado, Mikey, back to you, buddy. Let's get on with tonight's broadcast.
Help! So, Savage Rifts. You guys all heard the broadcast by one Sheriff Lukacs of Alemito. And when you heard it, for whatever reason, you decided you would check it out. Maybe it's because of the money. Maybe it's because of just the desire to earn some tabs on your skill card. Maybe it's because you felt like, hey, a little bit of fun in killing. Maybe it was because you decided you could earn a few favors from people. Who knows? However, now that you're here in Alemito, you have come to learn that the sheriff has a lot of potential for you guys that you guys will be looking forward to. However, he has offered you all what you desire. Whatever it was you wanted, maybe it was a little favor pulled with the Federation who was on your tail. Maybe it was a lot of money. Maybe it was some repairs for your specific piece of armor that's very expensive and hard to find. Maybe it was just because you wanted to see if you can get this thing that you've been following, you've had hanging off your hand for a long time, no longer following you around anymore. Or maybe it was just because you're a good person and you felt like doing the right thing. Whatever those reasons are, you're here now. You're led out towards the pass by a small. Well, you're led out together, obviously, in a very large group. There's maybe 30 of you total in this group. Some of you you've met, some of you haven't met, some of you came across in your trails on the way here. You're led out there by one of Sheriff Lukax's deputies, a combat cyborg by the name of Rex. He is massive, even for a combat cyborg. Wears this big poncho, cowboy hat, has a cigar hanging out of his mouth, wearing a deputy's badge. He's carrying this massive, like, combination shotgun that most of you know as the Bandito 3000, which shoots flechette rounds that are about as big as a 50 BMG. He's walking along with these guys. He's taking you out there. You've all heard of the pass, be it weird rumors, the odd inflection from people talking about it. You know, it was formed at some point, and at one point it was a pretty big town that had a lot of leyline walkers and mystics and mages of all counts, where they were performing experiments on the leyline nexus that was there. However, unfortunately, one day something went very, very wrong, and no one's been there since. Fortunately, however, to get into this city that was there at one point, it's all held in by a giant horseshoe-shaped mountain range, which the pass is relatively quite small. It's maybe about a kilometer wide at most. And at this narrowest point, there's been a defensive establishment built and kept somewhat manned, relatively, because of the high activity of rifts inside. Now, for the last 50, 100 years that you guys can find, there's been no real reference of anything major coming through there. But unfortunately, at this point, that has changed. You are led there, and you've been there now for a few weeks. Rex left you there. He went back to Alemito to pick up more people. You're there with maybe 60 to 100 other people at this point, and there's been various attacks in waves. There's been these giant monstrosities with purple energy, and they've been changing the material around them, and there's been these creatures that have just turned into mist and then reappeared. There's been these odd mutations that have come out of the rift that have tried to, like, shape the world around them. It's been hell for the last week or so, and it's not been the greatest time for the healer of the group, Erwin, who has been dealing with these injuries that are quite erratic, even for someone who is experienced in the Rift's world, like all of you are. As things have gone on, there has been less and less reinforcements and more wounded. Now, at this point, there's maybe 50 of you who are fighting ready. The other 70 to 80 of you that are left, that are around, are somewhat combat effective, but you wouldn't want them on a front line. And as you all are mingling about doing your normal daily checkups, Empress, you're outside of your armor doing a bit of maintenance. Erwin, you're helping with some wounded. Hang on. Cobb, you're out and about, just strolling, making sure everyone's doing okay. Kotor, you're doing your best keeping watch. And Vrith? Is it Vrith?
It's Vrith.
Vrith, you're just trying to stay out of the way. You don't want anyone here taking note of you in case they might know you for your past. And then as you're walking about, milling around, there's an impact. Some sort of explosive. You're all blown back. You've no idea what's happened. You're flying through the air, and the hard impact against the mesa ground is the only thing that snaps you back to your attention. There's yelling. There's screaming. People are running around trying to pick up whatever they can, drag people out of the way. And as they are moving, you see another combat cyborg who you've seen throughout all of this fighting. rush past all of you. You notice him, especially because of the fact he's carrying this giant Gatling-style laser weapon that you see spinning up as he pulls it around and points it down range past all of these moderately well kept but not exceptionally good embankments. As he pulls the trigger, it spins up and sends out just torrents of laser down range. As you blink and try to gain focus, all of you rolling onto your backs or getting off or getting out of the way a little bit as people run past you towards the entrenchments to keep these things out of the way. You then see another missile or projectile of some kind impact this combat cyborg who you've seen take hits that would kill most people. Take a rocket straight to the chest, and it penetrates through their armor, and with a their whole right arm and shoulders blown clean off as they're sent flying through the air, and the body lands not too far away from you. You all see him land on his side initially, on his left side where his arm and shoulder are still attacked, and then roll onto his back, and his head lolls to the side. You can all see that his eyes are still active. There's still this red beam of light behind his skull mask, but you can also see his synthetic heart beating inside of his chest through the ripped open cavity. And now, you all roll initiative. Or should I say, you all draw for initiative.
I feel like we're at like one of those stages of like the slow-mo intro of a film when we're about to see, well, that's me. You might be wondering how I got here.
Indeed.
9 deuce. This is
So I've just drawn you guys cards to your hands. So the way this works is that it is basically a descending order with Joker being the most valuable, and then King, Queen, Jack, and then 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, all that sort of thing, with an ace being a 1 in this instance. So an ace is actually quite bad. You can also pull Jokers, but since none of you did, it's no worries. And when it comes to ties, it's based off of the suite that you drew. So if anyone here has the same number, so in the case of Empress and KOTOR, they both drew a 9, but Empress goes first because it's a heart compared to a club. But in Empress's case, she also pulled a king, so she gets to go with the king instead of the 9.
Yeah. Should we say who's who?
Absolutely. Now you
Just-
can describe yourselves as you
just
pull
for-
yourselves off the dirty ground, covered in dust and rubble.
Dirty, filthy ground.
We'll go by initiative, sure. Empress, you go first. Outside of your glitter boy, what do we look at?
I'm a cat.
Meow. We see Duke.
I'm a cat. I'm a very muscly cat. I'm a muscly cat with a superiority complex.
I don't like you muscly. It's like a thing to describe a cat.
Yeah, I'm a cat.
Oh, that reminds me. 1 second.
I'm sorry.
no, you're not.
Not
No,
really.
you're not.
I literally drew my entire character based off the fact that it was a cat. Every skill I picked was down to the fact I'm a cat.
I'm a cat. I'm a kitty cat.
I'm like arrogant. Think the world serves me.
You know,
Fair.
just describing a regular cat.
Indeed.
Has this armor that is shiny and everything, so obviously I'm addicted to it.
Like a
Oh,
ball
come
of
on,
aluminum foil.
Yeah. Except this ball of aluminum foil has a
It has
goddamn rail
It's got a
cannon attached to
squeak
it.
or something for them to keep to keep carrying about.
I don't know. A laser pointer can keep them entertained for hours.
This is true.
Yeah, but not a stationary laser pointer.
No, that's why they've got
They're
a
the one
laser
pointing
pointer
it.
on the gun.
Yeah, they're the one pointing it, so that's why it's entertaining to them.
I was gonna say when our cyborg friend went to the ground, was there anything shiny? Piece
His
of metal,
innards.
anything?
It's innards.
Because here's an interesting bit about combat cyborgs is that they are basically just a brain, and like the part of the spine needed to connect their brain to their like cyborg body. So everything, like if you, this thing's head is still intact, which means he's still technically alive. Because that's how combat cyborgs in this setting work. So, which is why his heart's still beating.
Okay, so who's next? Who's next?
Cobb, you're next.
Oh, am I? Okay, hold on. I got to get my lip up over my teeth because well, good evening to you. My name is Cobb Canada. I don't really know how I got here. This is my horse. Her name is Miss Buttercup. And, well, this thing touched my hand. Well, this is the Colonel. And he's, like, saying this whilst scratching this, like, ancient Colt, like, long barrel Colt pistol, absolutely prescribed with runes, that's also just got this ichor of black, like, eldritch glow around it. And it's like, you see, like, the barrel, like, a tentacle, like forms out of like the hammer and then like spins the barrel itself, and it's like, oh, right, the Colonel's kind of active. Do you want to say hi there, Colonel? That's the Colonel. I'm not the bravest of sorts, but the Colonel, he's got a certain way with words. Yep, I have no idea. I live in fear of this thing every day. I live in fear of this thing every day. Yeah, that's me.
Cool. KOTOR, you're next. Knights of the Old Republic, you're next.
I'm no, it's not that at all. You know.
I know,
not.
but it's a funny joke.
True. So my name is KOTOR Hal, legally distinct from Carter Hall, and I am Bird Boy.
And by that, how do we infer that?
How would we infer that? Bird Boy? He's an avian, so he's a human with, well, humanoid that looks pretty much like a human, but with wings. He can fly and has absolutely no relation to Hawkman. Please don't sue.
Please don't sue us.
He has a psionic blade rather than a mace, which makes him even more copyright distinct. And,
if I'd known that, I would have given him like a warhammer just to be funny.
Damn it. I mean, no, thank goodness you didn't, because he has a vow to protect and serve and help people, especially old people. He's just got this weird thing of he just really, really needs to help old people. It's his one weakness. And also happens to have a fear of the color blue.
Yep. That's KOTOR. That's our friend. Vrith, you're next.
Oh, Vrith.
Vrith, you're next.
Yes. Yeah. Vrith is about a 4.5 foot, almost 5 foot tall giant rat woman who is just wearing some armor, has a lot of big guns strapped to her back or carrying, always really twitchy, like you'd expect a rat to be, constantly like cleaning her hands with like wet wipes and stuff that she carries around with her habitually. And doesn't talk a lot. When she does, it's always in third person. So Vrith was about to ask if Vrith could have the heart of the cyborg in front of the group, because it was interesting. But yeah, other than that, yeah, she's crazy.
Well, I don't think he is using it right now, so if you want to hold on to it, I suppose that might be okay. You'd have to ask him though.
He is still alive, technically. His heart is beating in his cavity.
Vrith does not think his consent is necessary.
Well, so there, let me tell you about consent. Now, it's
having this conversation while being shot at.
Yeah.
I just have one question. Did you say your character is a rat?
Yeah, no, she is aware that two natural predators of her of her lineage are in her party.
Yeah, well, we've got what we got here is just, you know, it's a real cat and mouse situation. And I don't know where the bird comes into it, but I sure ain't thinking it's very good.
But Vrith is also very stupid and also much does not care.
Fair enough.
Probably one of the most dangerous people here in close combat.
Carv is the leading intellectual of his generation.
Stop talking.
Okay, Aaron, sorry. Aaron, you're
Please.
Erin is normal.
up. Aaron is just a person. Well, no, she's an elf, right?
Well, Erin is a elf. She's been wandering the path for a while now, and she's gonna go help this poor cyborg before Vrith steals his heart, and not in a good way.
Hey.
This is
I would
poor
just
trauma.
like to
Sympathetic
apologize
accent.
right now for all the bad American accents. Okay.
No, we
Torture.
don't.
This is
We don't
torture for my
apologize.
sympathetic
one
accent.
time. We don't
I'm gonna
apologize
claw-
once.
I'm gonna claw out my desk with my fingers.
It's perfect. I love it, to be honest.
Uh,
Anyway, so Grand Empress.
We don't know
Bobby.
what Americans sound like in the next 1,000 years.
This is like 2,000 years in the future, so it's even worse. No one really knows because you're not speaking English anymore. You're speaking American in this universe. 'Cause it's not colloquially known as English because England. Most Americans don't know England exists
sunk into
anymore.
the ocean at some point.
Well, actually, it's turned into the Feywild. The Celtic Isles have turned into the Feywild in this setting.
Probably, honestly, best thing could happen to it.
Absolutely, 100% agreed. But most Americans in this universe don't know Europe or England exists, so they're just like, it's American now.
I'm not
Anyway,
seeing any
But
difference.
what's changed?
not much, to be honest. There's giant cat people, and there are giant rat people, and there's people with wings, but it's more or less the same otherwise. All right, Bobby, you're up first. So whatever you'd like to do.
I'll get into my armor.
Right, so you make your way over to your armor, which is going to take your movement. I'm going to say you don't need to
After-
run.
After taking 5 minutes to give myself a bath because I rolled on the floor.
Dirty. Okay, so you're not doing anything this whole combat. Good to know.
Panic
Like he's gonna
cleaning.
be that GM.
No, so you jump up, you move over to your armor. It is an action to get into your armor. It's like because it's a whole thing of getting into it, turning it all on. I assume you have it on standby mode, but you still have to turn most of the systems on. So you can continue to act, but every act you do past this incurs a -2 to any roll you make,
Why?
because that's how the system works.
Because I wasn't in my armor already.
No, because you wouldn't have gotten blown around otherwise, and I had to make it cinematic. I had to do something cinematic for fun here.
I get that, but why am I getting -2?
Because that's how the system works, Rival.
I has a feeling this system here that the benevolent gods above us have put us in is a little bit savage.
Hey.
Fine.
I'm gonna punch you. The next time I'm in your presence.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry.
I'm not. I'm glad Midge is having fun with the puns. It's great. I love it.
Yeah, I'm gonna get into my armor, but
Cool. You're in your armor. All right, Cobb, your turn.
So just on the Colonel's behalf, is anything in range of me to shoot?
What's your weapons range?
The
Should be
Colonel.
written in the.
So
combat.
range is 12, 24, 48 on the
Yeah, I'm
Colonel.
gonna say there's a few things within medium range. If you want to shoot at those, there is this giant, maybe 7.5 foot tall, lizard-esque mutant that kind of looks like if you took a armadillo and a what are they called? Like oh Christ, we had some as pets when I was younger. A bearded dragon, and you put two of them together, and then you gave it cybernetic legs. So yeah, it's currently trundling towards you. There are various other things and people around you moving around that aren't really in your way at the minute, but there is someone running past you towards the giant laser cannon, laser gatling weapon that's been left on the ground. He seems like he's going to pick it up, but they are within range, and since it's medium range, it's a -2 to your roll.
So, okay. Medium range is -2. I don't know if that's the case because
Yeah, it shouldn't be because you have a bunch of things.
Yeah, I'm looking at all the other things. So I think it might be my sharpshooting.
I believe so.
Oh no, I just get a +1 to hit, so it's a -1 right now from sharpshooting. And then
Oh, I see. Is Marksman also gives you the aim maneuver because you're standing still and not shooting, so you technically have a +2 from that. So you're actually at a +1.
So I'm at a +1 right now. So let me just see if I've. So we'll do whatever this roll is -1 because I have a +2 naturally on the. Wait, no, I also have a +2 naturally on the gun. So it's whatever this is +1.
Cool. So you rolled a 12.
Yes.
So that's technically a raise by 2 degrees. So a raise is anything above an 8. Since you rolled a 12, you got an extra raise. Now, that means you rolled your damage with a raise, essentially.
Okay. Actually, I think it's 13 because I have double tap. And I'm firing 2 shots instead of 1 without having to do the, like, as
a multi-action penalty, right?
So I can do this and not incur the multi-action penalty from shooting twice, essentially.
Yes.
Okay. So am I rolling damage now?
Yeah, so you're rolling damage with a raise. So it should pop up a little question box, basically, that asks you for it. Or I believe it'll already put it into account because you rolled the attack from the combat tab. Oh, there's a 6. So you rolled 13 damage.
I didn't get
an extra d6.
Okay.
So 5. So that's 17 damage, and AP is
3.
Okay, so the Colonel is controlling your arm at this point.
Yes, it pulls Cobb's away from him. He was like scratching his head with the barrel whilst talking to the cat and the rat, and like knocking his Stetson up and down slightly. All the way he's like in like completely like pale blue cowboy, like sky blue cowboy getup, and he's got like this big gaudy orange bolo tie, and a neckerchief like combo going on, and he is like knocking it up, and suddenly he kind of gets pulled, and the gun just starts firing, and yeah, so that's the first shot's damage.
So your first shot hits this. Hang on, I'll check the name on this thing again. They are called a. Oh god, there's too many things in this game. It's called a broad kill, is what it's called.
Okay.
And you impact it straight in the middle of the sternum. Well, I suppose I should say the Colonel does it because the Colonel is technically the one doing this. And the bullet you see penetrates the chest, but this thing keeps running at you.
Well, the double tap, so the second shot goes off.
Roll your second shot. Same modifier, so it's a D12. It's a D12 plus 3.
So this would be the oof. So it'd be
okay. That's
so
7. So 8.
It'll be 8. Yeah.
Yeah, so 8. So you got to raise again. So roll the 3d6 and then your extra d6 raise damage. Ooh. Okay, 14.
Not ridiculous. 18.
So 18. So same thing. So the first one goes straight through the middle of the sternum, and then the Colonel adjusts a little bit, and the second one like goes straight through the heart, and this thing just falls forward into a heap on the ground. Its momentum makes it like skid on the stony, dusty mesa floor.
Yeah, you see like the runic symbols just kind of burn hot, almost like the powder from like cannon fire, and like they glow an archive, and these tentacles come around to like whiz the barrel, and then just suddenly pulls into me, and I'm like, oh God. You gotta stop doing that. We don't even know if it was a friend or not. Anyway,
Can't understand a word that is being
Can't
said.
understand a word that Rival say.
But
There's
it's
too much
fine.
effect on that.
It's fine. I think it works.
You
It's
know the
like,
best part about it? I put those in for you, and you just didn't listen to them. But we actually got them trimmed to do it right, and since then, GoLexLR's updated earlier today,
yeah.
Oh,
I thought I
nice.
did there, guys.
and it's reset everything, and I can't remember all the settings.
Anyway, I can still move.
So you can still
right?
move if you want, or you can
Is
still
there- is
technically,
there
you can
any-
technically do.
So in normal cob fashion, where would running away be?
Essentially anywhere that isn't towards the fighting.
Yep. Okay. I'm gonna duck, cover, and hide somewhere.
Duck and cover under a school desk. That'll save you.
There's plenty of places because there's like various other craters. There's some like last ditch defenses that are just like sandbag emplacements. that have
He's
just
not the
been screwed
smartest
about.
person, so I think he's gonna try and find a probably some sort of ditch or like or
plenty of those
thing.
around.
And it's probably not deep enough, so you can probably just see like if he like
Tip of the Stetson.
the tip of the Stetson, even if he ostriches down, or you just see his ass in the air, like full ass up sort of thing. And then, but then again, and then as soon as the next turn comes, it's just gonna be arm kind of pulled to a jank position as the gun fires.
Cool.
That's-
Okay, Kotor, your turn.
That voice from the gun has just thrown me off completely. Trying to decipher it has just taken what little mental capacity I have.
It's gone.
It's
Vanished.
like trying to figure out what an old god's saying.
So
Yeah.
we're fighting some big robot thing, right?
Well, you're fighting a Broadkill, which is a 7.5-foot tall armadillo bearded dragon combo with cybernetics, and there are multiples of them, but there are also other things spread across the combat field you see in front of you that are running towards you right now.
Right, because I was about to also say I don't really see a map. Are we playing Theatre of Imagination here?
There is one in the images tab. Images uncategorized.
I'm trying to uncategorized.
It should be in
I
there.
don't see any tokens?
No, there isn't any tokens.
Right.
It's just the normal sort of map.
Okay. Well, I suppose what's the closest thing to me that I could fly charge?
What's your movement? What is your pace? Should be on your sheet on the main tab. Sorry, it's in traits.
Pace is 8.
Cool. So you can move pretty fast. I'm going to say there is a... There is what looks like a robot moving towards you. It is a on-treads robot. So, like, think, Christ, what's the thing from that one movie? Where it's like, I don't remember. But they're basically on dual treadmills, but it's like a turret robot in that it has a genuine human chest shape, but it has 2 gun turrets on each side.
I'm
and a missile
thinking
rack.
of the Adeptus Mechanicus thingies. There's the model that looks
Oh,
exactly
yes.
as he's describing. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. It's like that, and it's got a missile rack over one shoulder. It's got a heavy machine gun on one side where the arm would be, and the other side is like a power tool grabber or like a claw that's extended out. And you can see it moving up towards the defensive line. It has fired off its missile rack, so it doesn't look like there's any missiles left in the rack, which you could presume could be the initial assault. But essentially, there's a bunch of excess string, and it is currently trying to shoot at the defensive walls around around the place, keeping people's heads down.
Charge.
You charge, cool,
Fly and charge.
nice,
Hit them with my sword.
cool. So you pull out, you summon your power sword, I guess, or your side sword,
I have
side
the
blade.
power.
Indeed. At this point, since you're in close combat with it, you can make a fighting roll, and since you charged, you get a +2.
With the blade specifically.
Yes, if you want to, indeed. Cool. So you're that's a 13 because of the +2 from the charge. You hit and you get a raise, so roll your damage and then also roll a bonus d6.
Okay, which one's the damage?
It's the one on the right hand side of the sheet next to the dragon icon. So it should say put side blade, and then over on the right there's like a bunch of dice. Very nice. And then roll your d6 bonus damage. Okay, so it's 19 damage. There should be an AP noted on your side blade in the notes bit. 8. Okay. So you shred its armor, which is very good. So you do... doing math in my head here. Yeah. So you swing your blade, and you immediately can tell that this thing is not going to stand up to your swing as you almost perfectly cleave it and bisect it in half at around the ribs, where the ribs would be on a human, but there's no, like... This whole thing is just machine all the way through. There's no, like, bone or anything like that, no sinew. So as you cut through it, you cut through the steel and various other materials as they are butter, and this thing is chopped in half, and the top half falls over into the mesa dusty sand as it comes to a slow halt. At which point, the enemies go, or at least one of them do.
I'm going to declare as I killed him. Oh, I wish Ocean Lad was here to see this.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
So
Okay.
my head went Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy.
Oh god.
Clearly, it's because they're clearly different generation, but
Yep.
it's the side effect.
So from the mist and like the battlefield in front of you guys as you see it is strewn with bodies and detritus and everything. There was an initial combat line past a trench line that's been sort of haphazardly put in during downtime of these assaults. Past that line, however, there is a big sort of collapsed wooden encampment that was basically destroyed within the first week of fighting. There is a lot of bodies out there, some skeletons, scavengers often appear here. And as you're looking, you see a giant robot dog appear out from the trenches. It immediately sprints up, and it's going for one of the people on the trenches. It can't reach any of you guys, even though it's got stupid pace. Because you guys are far enough away that you're more or less safe here. And it is attacking one of the defenders here. It hits. Oh, that was close. 9, maybe 4. Okay, so you see it claw, like with both of its front paws, I guess. There's metal paws with giant, like serrated nail claws, and it just right across this poor dude's chest. You see it. He's bleeding immediately, but he's still standing, holding what looks like to be like a lever-action laser rifle. Think like a Winchester, but it's firing laser cartridges instead. He stumbles backwards. He's bleeding. The creature then swipes his second attack at someone standing next to him. He misses. So that's its turn. Now we have another thing that has to go. Because the way this initiative works is that it doesn't work by individuals for the bad guys. It does it in groups. So there's a group of bad guys I have assigned this initiative to, and another group of bad guys I've assigned an initiative to. The next thing that comes up is another one of those all-purpose heavy robots you see come across the treads help it get across these fairly shallow, moderately not effective at all points trenches. It swings its heavy machine gun towards the middle of the defensive line, and begins leaning down some heavy suppressing fire. Let's see if it works. It does not. It also crit fails. So it's shooting, and then there's a click as something gets lodged or something malfunctions and the weapon is jammed. It then pulls up its missile rack, and it's another crit fail. So this missile is going out of the pod. You see that it has left the pod, but it hasn't, like, either the rocket has failed or the lock-on didn't work, and it just lands in front of this thing and is a dud. And then the last thing in this initiative is... yes. You see coming out of the mists towards these rifts is this... You're not sure if it's a mechanical or if it's a ghost. Or if it's both, even. This normal-ish sized horse with glowing blue flaming eyes, what looks like a mechanical jaw and legs, being ridden by what looks to be a human. I say human in the shape is correct, but everything else is kind of odd. You see the human on the back pull out what looks like 2 revolver-esque pistols, but they're quite big. They're oversized even for something in the Rifts universe. And the horse, from its sort of like forehead area, a laser like machine gun pops out, and it begins laying fire in the same way across the front lines as these guys run around. So the cavalry horse gets its first shot. It's going to do this. Oh. Okay, that's good for me. There is a spattering of heavy laser fire across the front lines, and those of you who have yet to move or who aren't distracted by getting into armor or finding a place to get cover. So Kortor, you see a couple people get clipped by this heavy laser rifle and get knocked back, and they're on their backs. Their rifle is strewn across the place. They don't look like they're out of the fight, but they definitely look like they're not having a great time. However, a lot of people have now ducked behind these old, not very well maintained entrenchments, as the rider then pulls out his proceeds to use his 2 pistols as a way to force down things here. So he is the cavalryman, the Apocalypse Cavalryman. That's what he is. Yes, the classic laser. So he has 1 shot, which he misses.
Apocalypse Cavalryman is such a metal name.
It is. This game does wild shit. It's great fun.
Sounds like
Like
an awesome cover
to be an
band.
actual band name. So like,
It does, exactly. It does, yeah.
And live tonight, the Apocalypse Cavalryman.
It sounds like he should be doing like cavalry songs, but in like Rammstein style.
Yeah, no, they walk on stage to like cavalry bugles, and then it's just like, so it's like, it's all just like,
Cover of
you
the
know,
Trooper
it's
or
all just
something.
like that kind of thing, and then just like,
Yeah.
So, Sabaton.
yeah,
Kinda, yeah. So his first shot is entirely wild, but his second shot hits one of the many members of the defense, and they take a shot straight to the head, like straight to the forehead, and they just tumble down into a heap, rifle dropped. Definitely not coming back from that one. And then we go to, we go to we go to Rat Person.
Vrith.
Vrith.
Yes.
Your turn.
Awesome. Smelling the blood and the cordite burning from the shots fired by Cobb, she gets the bloodlust. And well, it has to be cordite with Cobb because you said it was a fucking old gun, so
Yeah, true.
it can't be nitro.
yeah, it's a cult peacemaker, so
Yeah.
It's still firing percussion caps.
Oh, then it wouldn't be cordite, but it sounds better as cordite. Either way, she smells that and gets this look in her eye. Is there anything within 12 of her?
I'll say the robot dog is now.
Cool. Yeah, so she moves like unnaturally quickly.
She
Towards
scurries, if you'd say.
She's on all fours going. They're like making really fucking weird, like almost like a were rat going towards, like bloodlust wise, towards this dog. And right before she like barrels into it, she draws a fucking long sword off her side and goes in for an attack. So she has her vibro long sword.
Right,
out.
make your attack roll.
Right. I forgot how to do that.
So in your sheet in the combat section, there should be a vibro longsword, and on the left hand side there's a skill, on the right hand side there's the damage.
Right hand side is damage, left hand is the skill.
Yes.
Okay. I just want to double check something because actually that might reverse what I just did, even though it sounded cool, which I might stick with anyways.
Sure.
I have a thing that I got from my job called Berserk
Mm-hmm.
that I can go into, and in the description of the job it says I can just do that.
Yeah.
But in the description of the actual trait itself, it says I have to have taken a hit to then do it. So I'm wondering, can
I'll say that your framework will override that. You can just go berserk as a crazy.
Cool. So yeah, she is berserk. So she gets a, what is this? She has -2 to parry, which means she has a 0. But
Can't parry.
She cannot parry. She's incapable of parrying, but she gets a +2 to all fighting strength and melee damage rolls and toughness.
Yep.
Which will negate this -2 that she has towards her vibro longsword attack.
It's technically a size larger than you too, so you get a +2 to hit it as well because it's bigger than you.
Okay. So this will be plus. So this will overall be a +2 of whatever this displays because it's already a -2.
Cool.
So that's a 3.
It's a miss.
It's a miss.
Yep.
Cool.
You didn't beat its parry.
All right. Well,
You can continue to attack for, well, every action you do above your standard action is a -2 to hit, but I think because you're a crazy, you might get a thing to help with that.
I'm reading. I wouldn't know where that'd be listed.
It'd be in your abilities on the main page, or edges.
Edges on the main page. Combat reflexes, berserk, dodge, nerves of steel, quick, uncanny reflex. I don't think so.
No,
It's
that's
not that I
alright.
can
You can still
it's
make
not
the
that I
roll if
can
you want.
see.
It's up to you.
Enhance speed, enhance endurance. Because I didn't even know the action structure of this game to begin with, so I didn't even.
Fair.
So who knows? Also, you leveled up this character this week.
I did.
So it's changed since I looked at it.
I did. She's ready for action.
Yep, she is. Yeah, fuck it. I'll do one more.
Also, I'm sure your fighting is more than a D6. Why is that? That's weird.
My fighting definitely it should be more than D6, right? Fighting. Where does fighting?
It's rolling as unskilled.
It should be. I put a point into it, didn't I? I'm
Yeah,
required to.
it's fighting is
Am I-
coming up under his own skill, so it's a D4.
It might
Odd.
double check your front tab because it's case sensitive. So it might not be reading fighting as fighting.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, try that again for me.
Try again? Okay.
Let's just see if that's updated.
That looks
yes,
better.
there we go.
That looks much
That's
better.
Okay.
So that
that's a
would've
plus
been
2 on that. That's a not.
Plus
That's an 8.
2, so it's an 8. So you hit it. It's not a raise, however, so you just get your base damage.
Okay. Cool. So it's whatever is on the right side here is the damage.
Let me
of
just
the,
double check and make sure that's correct, because
'cause
it might have changed
I
things.
will say the melee of this does list a couple of things. It says mega damage.
Yeah.
As its first trait here.
Well,
so
mega
I
damage
don't
just
know-
goes through mega damage armor. There's certain armors in this game that cannot be damaged without mega damage. For example, the glitter boy cannot be damaged without mega damage weapons.
Alright. Yeah, you better look out, even though I can't hit for shit.
You were rolling the wrong dice.
That
Ooh,
is true.
that's good
So that's an
damage.
18. A plus
And the
2,
AP,
by the way.
so that's 20,
It's a 20.
with an AP of what? What's the AP written on the thing?
10.
10. So it has no armor because your AP goes through all of it.
I told you she's the most dangerous fucking person on this party when it comes to me.
So that's
Oh,
that, and then
Alemito.
4, 8. So you do 2 wounds, which is not enough to kill it, but it's enough to damage it quite badly.
Okay, is this thing like? Does she notice this thing? Is this thing intelligent? Because I have to. Roach has to ask because I do not know what is the scale of sophents in this like sapient individuals in this.
You would say, well, Vrith would know that most robots of combat style are intelligent because having them be unintelligent is actively combat ineffective, especially
Okay.
when they're militarized like this one seems to be.
Okay, yeah. Then she just whispers into it as she sinks the long sword into its body, and just like, did you know that you on average walk past 16 murders in your life?
I'm so glad this thing doesn't know how to respond to you.
I think
I'm so
you're
glad
run-
this thing is a robot.
I think you're gonna run into a lot more than that if you're around here too long.
This is true.
And that's it. That's it.
Cool. So that's your turn. So next we have Aaron. Aaron, you come up now.
Okay, so our cyborg friend
Yes.
that hasn't had any parts stolen yet,
Yet.
can I sort of see from here whether if I could heal them or if any healing would actually do any good, or is it a bigger job that should be done once we're a bit safer?
Thing is, he's robotic. The vast majority of him is robotic. So while you could
It's
probably
a fix, not a heal.
yeah, while you could probably ease his like pain on like a pain reception levels, you know from being in this universe for long enough, most combat cyborgs don't have pain receptors. They just don't feel pain because it's just ineffective for them. Because a lot of combat cyborgs are combat cyborgs because they owed someone a lot of money, and were told you're going to become a combat cyborg and pay off your debt. So it's very likely this person was turned into this after they owed a lot of money to something or someone, and now they are here. They cannot feel pain, but he's out of the fight unless someone who is much more tech savvy comes to help out.
Yeah, in this game, that ain't me. Okay, so what's in 24, 48, 96 range of me?
I will say that essentially covers any ally within range. 96 would be
What
the
what
first
if this was an attack spell?
one. You could hit essentially. You could hit the cavalry, the ghost on horseback, the horse. You could hit the heavy robot. You could hit the Botweiler, which is what the robot dog is called.
I hate it.
I know. You could hit the corrupt. A corrupt is a supernatural, evil, monstrous humanoid. It is a spirit spawn from the agony of angry vengeance.
Okay, second question, DM. What does
Yes.
range smarts mean?
Range smarts.
Yeah, so I've got a boost lower. I've got some spells that are range based on, and it says range smarts. So is that?
Oh,
how
range smarts
my
is
die
what
is?
you're using to roll it. You're using your smarts skill to roll it instead of using your agility.
Shooting. Yeah.
That's fair, but I'm still because. Okay,
Which power is this?
boost lower trait.
Yeah, so your range is how big your smarts dice is. So if your smart dice is a 12, you've a range of 12.
Understood. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Range is based on that brain power. How big is your brain? About that big.
You're fucked then.
I know, I'm screwed. Though to be fair, I do somehow still have the brain cell. Midge hasn't come back for it yet. He actually put it on layaway for today.
I'm renting it out on Fiverr. I'm gonna DoorDash myself another piece of
Okay,
grey matter.
I am going to use Detect Conceal Arcana and
Right.
see if I can pick up anything that we can't currently see apart from the various people that we already have, in case there's more enemies on the field that we don't know about yet.
You're going to turn your eyes on, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I've got my eyes back.
I'm turning my eyes on. Right,
What is
go
your
ahead.
intent?
Make your roll. Oh. See, I was gonna say this is going to be very hard because of the Nexus ley line nearby, but fuck me, I guess.
See, this is
And
how
it-
I feel when I run a one-shot.
Yeah, it's great. I love it.
And because I got, 3 raises out of that, that didn't actually cost me any power point.
Well, it's more than 3. It's every single integral of 4 over an 8. So that's like 5, right? Yeah, sorry, that's even
It
more.
didn't
raises.
cost me any power
It
points.
cost you.
but-
It gave you power points back. You got
What-
that many raises.
Sorry, back to Midge. For everybody at home, what did you just roll?
D12 and then 11 on a D12.
Whew.
Oh, I did it for Dispel though, but it's the same dice, Mike.
The same dice roll, so I'm not worried about it. Yeah. So you reach into the magic around the area, and it's not hard to reach out and touch it because there's so much of it. It's so heavily bled into the rocks, into the terrain, into everything around here. You don't see anything in there that makes you go, "Oh, I can't see that with my real eyes." However, you do see that there are dormant enhancements on all of the enforcements of all of these big stone like buildings that were built here. You don't know how long ago, but there is maybe not natural, but there is a malign and malignant, but also it's just sitting there wanting to be activated again in some way. It's like, hey, I want to help, and you can hear that almost through the whispers of the magicka in the air.
I'm going to use my movement to head a bit closer.
Cool, you can do that. Right. Now we have the enemies. So who is first up here? Okay. Emerging from the trenches, you see these maybe 5 feet tall, 160 centimeters tall, very, very wide. Like, probably as wide as they are tall. What you guys know as dog boys. These guys are all wearing this chain, like, hooked. It's not actually like it's not like they've put like chain on them. The chains have been hooked into their skin, and they are running at you with these bloody, rusty knives, and
Okay, knock off Xenobites.
maybe, and they're sprinting at you with this rabid
Cenobites from Wish.
Timu Xenobites. I'll have you know. These guys are just
Cenobites we have at
sprinting
home.
up the small like incline up towards you guys, and they are moving incredibly fast. They are moving probably as fast, if not faster, than the Botweiler was, and you see them almost hit that first line of entrenchment. There's maybe 6 of them in this squad that are like, they're not tightly packed. They seem to understand the concept of spacing. However, that's not really what causes you any kind of worry. Instead, you see emerging from the mist, almost floating about a foot, maybe a foot and a half off the ground, what most of you recognize immediately as a corrupt. These are evil spirits formed of vengeance. They are glowing bright red with you look at them and it's almost like looking into a fire when it's way too close, like looking into the sun for too long. The sheer radiance of hate and vengeance, and they are moving forward as quick as they can over this ground. You see them pull this fiery blade from nowhere, almost manifesting it as they reach up into the air. Runes etched along the flat of the blade as they go to swing. You see them impact the first barrier of entrenchment, and it hits with a raise. The cleaving swing is deadly as it deals 11 damage. That's not bad. It hits 2 or 3 individuals, and you see the fire almost cling to their skin, to their armor, to their clothes as it burns, and they dive out of the way as fast as they can and hit the ground and start rolling. Some of them are almost immediately extinguished. However, one of them is still on the ground rolling around, trying not to be ash. And then we go back to the start of the initiative, which means everyone pulls cards again. So let's start this one more time. Aaron, Cobb, Princess, KOTOR, and Verth. Okay, so Verth, you're quick, so you get to roll again. 6, there you go. And so are you, Aaron, right?
No, wasn't. I'm agile, not quick. I was just going to say, do we want to take up right now before we roll into the next round?
That sounds like a good idea. If anyone would like to.
Okay, so
So already? Wow.
We started slightly late, so remember. So like, we're 15 minutes off our normal break time, so we'll actually be coming back just about when we normally get on break. But we'll use this time. Grab yourself a drink, and we will see you in a moment.
Hey, come here a minute. Do you need royalty-free music for your TTRPG content, whether that be a YouTube video, stream, TikTok, Instagram post? Don't worry, we've got you covered. My name's Alex. I've been a content creator for almost a decade now, and I've teamed up with my good friend Harry to produce 10 royalty-free songs for you to use in your content completely for free. We've tried to make a whole range of motifs with this album, covering happy music to sad music, to mystery music to combat music. And if this takes off, you know what? We might even make some more. So give the Elendor Chronicles soundtrack Volume 1 a shot. It's free to stream everywhere, and if you want the high quality downloads, you can come over to our Patreon and download them, or you can contact me directly at tabletop@themidgemansworld.co.uk as a creator, and I'll just give it to you for free. That's it, there's no catch, and just to prove it, we've also given you guys a user license agreement to prove that you have the complete perpetual rights to use this content. So enjoy, and good luck on your next adventure. Oh, good day. I'm Martin Sanderson, and I'm the CEO of Avari Military Solutions. We here at Avari know that it doesn't take much to cause problems out on the frontier, whether that be from local pirate raids, neighboring interstellar powers, or even just an unhappy populace with unreasonable demands. Just what is a small to mid-sized regional power to do when faced with these problems? You look to Avari for your solutions. With open-ended contracts, well-trained personnel, state-of-the-art aerospace forces, and competitive rates, we stand ready to help find the right solution to your problem. So if you have a problem, why not call Avari for your solution? Our operators are waiting to take your call, and consultations are free of charge.
Avari Military Solutions, a solution for your problem.
Avari Military Solutions is not licensed to operate within the Kark and Grey Baronies, the Andes Corps, or any Class A combat zones. AMS is a subsidiary of Omni Radiance Holdings, a family company.
When is a story more than a story? When a tale is more than words on paper? When is an ad more than the script it's written on? In the darkest and deepest annals of our own history, worlds of wonder and splendor burst through like a blister made of hope. From the brain that's rattled and riddled with madness, a radiant pastille. Writing, art, that's storytelling. That is the true lust of life. You too can beautifully indulge in art. Like fans of the greats. Shakespeare, King, Tolkien, Seuss, Mercer. You too can indulge through Twitch Prime. Get an extended access to a wealth of knowledge with a simple click, an emotion so small that it could endlessly amount to possibilities. Embrace those feelings. Support art. Support the component cast.
Okay, Empress, you're in your armor. You're ready to go.
Okay. So, how far away is the dog?
I don't necessarily think it would matter for your gun, because I think that thing has a range that this says no.
I don't care about that. How far away is the dog?
I'll say it's 12, 15 away.
Okay, first I'm going to make myself look big.
You already are big.
No, I'm a cat. Make myself look bigger.
Okay.
And then my combat training will take over, and I will fire my mighty gun of death and destruction at one of the guys with the chains that have been hooked into their skin.
Okay, you're going to fire at one of the dog boys. Got it.
Yep. Okay, so that would be my shooting, right?
Hang on. I'm just looking at your sheet here, and your shooting isn't applying to your weapons for some reason. Let me just... That's odd. Let me just redo that real quick. It shouldn't take a second. But it is your shooting, so if you actually roll it from your skill tab on the main thing there, just roll it from there for now. We'll fix it in a minute. So 4 is a hit.
Surprising.
You only need a 4 to hit. 4 range hits only need a 4 because of you're just looking to succeed on your shot. And then you go to your combat page and roll the damage for that.
And that's the one with the +5 in it, right?
That is the RG-14 Rapid Acceleration Electromagnetic Railgun, aka the Boom Gun. 26 damage, AP 25. That dog boy is now turned into mulch. It is now a part of the mace's dust. However,
I am going to call it the Akira from now on.
That there dog just turned to himself to kibble.
However, since you didn't take a action to the steady to like lock yourself in, you get knocked on your ass.
Fine. Mulch.
You're flat on your ass, and anyone within a large blast template has to make a roll, but I'm going to say for the sake of this time, there's no one there.
Mulch.
Yep, you turn them into mulch.
And I'm a cat, so I land on my paws.
You land on your face, if you're lucky. So, do you guys want the militia to go now, or do you want them to go later?
How about middle of the pack?
So go with KOTOR, which is funny how this is laid out on my screen. So just go with KOTOR because he's third.
Yeah, I think that sounds good.
Sure. Cobb, you're next.
Well, I'm face down, ass up in some sort of crater.
That's the way I like to shoot.
And I don't know what the hell is going on, but what's going to happen is the colonel's going to drag me to my feet. He's going to aim, and he's just going to what's the there's this the big burning skull thing, right?
Oh, the corrupt, yeah.
How far away is that from me?
That's probably close to your maximum range, given you ran away.
Okay.
From
What's
the
closer?
combat.
What's closer?
The closest thing is the Botweiler.
Okay. All right. Well, nice doggy, nice doggy. I'm gonna shoot it.
Right. Shoot away.
What range is this from me?
We'll say it's medium.
I would like to say this is basically Venom and Tom Hardy, isn't it?
It is, yeah. New movie out soon. Looking forward to that.
So that's a
Not
12.
as sweaty. Not as
I mean,
sweaty
it's
with
debatable.
the horrible hoodie that always gets grungier.
That's
that's debatable.
Looks
Looks on the edge of death all the time.
That's a 12. Does that hit?
It does. It's a raise, so you roll your normal damage and then add your d6 bonus. Also, let's be fair. For all we know, Cobb is currently constantly dying because of the demonic pull from the pistol.
So that's a 16.
Nice. And your AP is what again? 3?
3.
3.
Man used to
Cool.
quote Shakespeare.
Yeah, he did.
It's been slowly siphoning away his brain.
Like I said, I am one of the most intellectuals of all my region.
You used to have a D12 intelligence, and it's just been slowly sapped away over time. So it only needed 1 wound, and I'm going to say because you're a marksman and because you're trick shooting and all that, didn't need to worry about the fact that one of your colleagues is in melee combat with it. So you hit it.
Oh,
and-
I can ignore all cover with my shooting. That's the thing.
Yeah,
I can
yeah, so
I
curve
don't know
bullets.
if I count as cover.
I can curve bullets, so that's
Technically,
fine.
because you're in melee combat with it, there would be a negative, but because Midge has so many edges that give him ways to just ignore that shit, I'm going to say he ignores that shit. So yeah, you hit it in the head, and it just falls over.
Now, this is a dog made of metal,
Red
right?
hisses at him.
Yeah, it's made of metal. It's a full robot dog.
Okay, so can I now shoot it again to try and ricochet a bullet into something else?
You know what? For cool factor, I'm going
As
to
a
say
GM,
yes.
you can say no.
For cool factor, it's a one shot. I'm going to say you go fucking wild,
Well,
son.
because I think like the double tap is gonna happen anyway, so I think the Colonel would still take that shot, and then the miasma of eldritch horror that it is
Right.
would
so the
then try
Rottweiler
and
is dead. So I'm going to
bounce
hang on,
that
I'm
bullet
going
into
to-
something.
1, 2, 3. Midge, roll me a d6.
A D6,
Yeah, roll me a d6.
a 2.
2. So you're trying to hit the apocalyptic cavalry horse with this reach.
Yes, okay, that makes sense.
You don't like the horse. Bang.
There's only one rider in this here town.
Yeah. this town ain't big enough for the both of us.
You can have it. Just say the word.
So the Colonel's going to try and curve a bullet towards this thing. I'm going to say it's the same range. It's medium.
Mm-hmm.
So you can go ahead and make your roll.
Aw, it's only a 10.
It still hits.
Oh, explode.
Oh.
Okay. That's
It's a
not okay,
race, so roll your
it's-
d6 bonus.
It's 12.
Doesn't do anything.
Okay.
Doesn't do anything. Even with your AP, that wouldn't do enough to hurt.
Oh, damn. So it
Yeah, it's a very
ping,
tough horse.
ping, ping, ping.
Yep.
Just ricochet
You're not sure if it's
sounds.
because of the horse is made of metal or because it's a spectral being, but either way, you hit it.
Okay.
Well, the Colonel hit it in a way that didn't hurt as much as he would have thought.
Okay. So in terms of action economy, what can I do now?
So you can still do more actions because you ignore the multi-action penalty. So you're still only at a -2 for any other actions you want to make. So for example, if you were like, I want to make a roll to do some perspective stuff, you'd be at a -2. Or if you could just run for free. You can move up to your pace for free at any time.
I think I'm going to keep running because things are getting a little close. So I want to like wheel round away from the dog where the dog people are charging from. Like still kind of stay at the same sort of horizontal line. Just be like, no, I'm not going near them.
Cool. I got that one. Okay, so your turn's done. Good shit. Next up is the all-purpose heavy robot. It is currently trying to fix the fact that its machine gun mount is fucked because it jammed itself, and one of its missiles is a dud. So it's just going to use a normal pulse rifle and shoot at...
Come on, a 1. Come on.
Who's
I
he
don't-
shooting at? He's shooting at Verth, because he can see Verth.
And I'm no longer in melee combat.
No. Hang on, let me check something real quick. I think I gave you... Yeah, so I gave you dodge, which means I have a -1 to hit this.
I have uncanny reflexes. I have a +2 to evasion, and -2 to be hit by attacks I'm aware of.
Cool.
I would
So
believe
that
I am aware
is-
of an attack.
Yeah, you're aware of this. You're crazy, but you're not unaware of the fact you're being shot at right now. But I have a -1 to hit just flat
Excuse
anyway.
me, I am berserk.
Well, your job is crazy. Your current action is berserk.
Yeah.
Okay, it misses. Misses initially anyway. But it's then going to try and cycle its second missile pod and shoot out another missile at the big sort of, not clumped together, but the bigger bunch of militia. And... Oh. It hits with a raise.
Well, it
We're all
was, it
two.
was good while we knew him.
They were good to have around while we had them. So in this instance, these aren't actually like, these are mini missiles as they're referred to, because it's not like a massive missile pod. It's like it's like if you took one of those, you know, the flash, what the one was like the 4 stacked missiles that you can shoot the flash, I think it's called, right? Whatever they're called, those modern missiles that have like a 4 missile pod rack, or rocket launchers, whatever they're called. This thing impacts in the center of everyone. Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, the M202 flash. That's what it is. My head.
One of those D4s rolled a 10 and one of those D4s rolled a 7.
Yeah, because 2 of them
Yeah.
2 of them crit. So it doesn't have any AP technically because it's a shrapnel missile. It's not going to penetrate any armor. However, it does mean that 6 militia members have taken a wound. So of the 30 of them you had, 29, because that combat cyborg is not combat efficient, there is 23 of them left. And that's including you guys.
Oh, because they're basic. They're one
They're
wound and
basic.
they're down.
They get 1 wound and they're down, but they're not technically dead yet. They're technically on the ground. Until they take a 2nd wound is when they're actually dead. They're not combat effective right now, is how I would put it.
Rith just thinks of them as cover.
I mean, right now, that's what they are. And that's the end of that guy's turn. So then we have the Apocalyptic Cavalry. I'm going to go with the Soldier first.
Apocalyptica, still love it.
Great name. Great name.
Still love it.
Yep.
Sounds like something from Never Going Home.
Right, so he's shooting at KOTOR. Because KOTOR's out in the open and he's yelling about Aqua Boy.
Aqualad.
Aqualad, thank you.
No, it's Ocean Boy.
Ocean
It was Ocean
Boy.
Boy, because Aqualad is actually the DC character. Oh, shut up.
Okay, so the cavalry soldier misses with his rifle. However, the horse, he hits with the laser implantment
Oh, I
in his
thought
head.
he had the rocket kick because it was a ranged attack. And just a
No,
kick.
I'm using it's the same dice roll. I'm just grabbing the first one that's on the sheet. Oh, this isn't good. What's your toughness, KOTOR?
I think it's 7. Yeah, 17.
17. And how much of that is armor?
I believe that's the other number with the shield icon, isn't it? 12.
That's correct. Okay, so in this instance, it has AP 3, so you take off 3 of that, so that'll be 14. So you take 1 wound. However, you can soak that by spending a Benny and then rolling your Vigor dice.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do it.
Cool.
God, this is what you all feel like whenever I just introduce a random system to you for a one shot. Just-
And then you roll your Vigor. You soaked it, because you rolled above a 4. So that means you didn't take that wound, but you are technically shaken right now, which means at the start of your turn, you will need to make a spirit roll to no longer be shaken, but that's not a big deal. So that's the end of that particular turn. It is now KOTOR's turn.
Can I charge the cavalry soldier?
With your speed and the fact that it's close enough to you to be shooting at you, yeah, I'd say so.
Okay, cool. I mean, flying really helps it.
It does, surprisingly.
Really increases the pace. Right, so I need to do a spirit roll, yeah?
Yeah, to not be shaken. Yep, that's correct. So make a spirit roll. Perfect, you make it. So you're no longer shaken. You can act as normal.
Instead, I'm stirred.
Yeah.
Yeah,
KOTOR
I'm
does
just
seem
gonna
like a dirty artistic
fly
kind of
in
man.
and I'm gonna fly in and hit the thing while screaming out justice.
Sounds good. Take your swing. Are you aiming for the horse or for the cavalryman on back?
The man.
The man. Cool. Make a roll then.
Oof.
Ah. So, quite obviously you don't hit with that. You can, however, spend another Benny to try again.
Ooh. No.
Cool.
Think
So, your character is ambidextrous. meaning you can make a roll with your offhand as the same attack action with no negative. So if you're holding your pistol, you could technically shoot that in melee.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'll do that. Give it a blast.
Give it a wee gat go. Hey, you hit. So you hit the cavalryman, roll me your damage, and tell me what your AP is with this weapon.
AP 3.
Okay, so his armor is gone because your AP is exactly what's needed, which is good. Which means it's 7, 11. So you do 2 wounds. So you catch him in like the lower rib, like underneath the armpit with the laser as he's like blocking your side blade with like the guard of his pistol. You get your pistol up and hit him right in the side, and he almost falls off the horse as he takes this hit, but he keeps going, and you're currently engaged in melee combat with this cavalry soldier who's pulled his horse to a stop. So you're just you're currently engaging and deflecting and attacking, which means now we go to the militia. There are 18 of them still alive technically. So I'm going to have all of them roll to attack the dog boy group that's in front. There are 5 of them still left. So in there we have 1 hit, 2 hit, 3 hit, 4 hit, 5 hit, 6 hit, 7 hit, 8 hit, 9 hit, 10 hit. And none of them rolled above a 7. None of them rolled an 8. So none of them got any raises. So these are all basic damage rolls with a...
They're not the main characters.
No, these guys are just normal people. In this case, I'm going to have to use... Let me just use this sheet here. These guys should have... Yeah, they have a light laser rifle. That's perfect. Okay, so that's 1 dog boy dead. Oh, wow. 2 dog boys dead. Still alive. Wounded. Still alive. Dead.
Guardsmen
so there's 2 more
fighting
left.
cultists.
Yeah, wounded. Wounded. Dead. So there's 1 dog boy left after the levy of the volley of laser fire from the remaining militia that are still combat effective. However, at this point, the Grackletooth, this 7.5 foot tall lizard man, who was the person who grabbed the laser Gatling rifle, pulls up the Gatling rifle, and you see him spin it up and point it at the corrupt. So let's see what this guy does.
In my head, I know they're all like actual like modern military like kind of tactics, or at least like individuals and everything. But in my head, they're just like form line with their laser rifles.
I mean, they're militia, so it kind of does work.
Just Colonel Chamberlain like telling them to fire volley next to them.
Volley.
Also, I've just realised that the lizard person is a good person, so Mikey self-inserted as another dragon.
Oh no, this is a character from the game that I used to be in. So there, this thing.
We're not gonna meet Sesh.
No.
this Earth's version of Seth. Sesh.
I mean, it would be hilarious, but no, I have another. It would be very funny. I won't lie. So this is. Oh, this is this. This is the cartridge machine.
216 Sesh.
R216 Sesh. Okay, so let me just drag that over here. Perfect. So he's rolling with a D10, just a D10. He doesn't get any special secondaries here. However, he did get a raise, which means he is doing 3d10 plus 4 damage plus a d6 raise. So that's 27 damage. No, sorry, that's wrong. It's 3d12 damage. I was looking at the wrong sheet. All right, fair enough. He rolled worse on that one, but it is better pluses technically, so it's actually the same damage. So it's 27. AP is... Where is it? AP is... I see. AP is 6, which is pretty good. So it's doing 1 wound. It's just doing 1 wound, unfortunately, with 27 damage and 6 AP. However, the Corrupt seems perturbed by this fact because it's technically also on fire because it's a plasma weapon. So it just shot... This guy just shot a bolt of plasma rounds at this Corrupt and set it on fire. And if it wasn't for the fact it was made of fire, it probably wouldn't be having a great time right now.
It seems like you're feeding fire at that point.
Yeah, but it's a different type of fire, so it doesn't work that way. So it is now Vert's turn. Vrith's turn.
Vrith. Think about it like you were
I'll
saying
learn
when
it
you had
never.
a muzzle. It's a muzzle with very sharp teeth.
Vrith.
Yeah. Cool.
So there's one dog boy left. There's the Corrupt. There's the cavalryman on horseback, and that's all you see at the minute.
Are there any like clustered around each other, like close enough?
Not really.
Considered-
The only
not
ones
really?
that were kind of clustered were the dog boys, but there's only one of them left alive now. So
Right. Okay. Who's like looks like the most untouched, and is it within range of me moving towards them? Because I've realized because I'm berserk, I am incapable of shooting a gun because I am so crazy right now.
the Corrupt is definitely the most untouched looking, even though it's just been hurt.
Cool. Yeah, Vrith's going to again like quasi all four like charge towards this.
Cool.
This enemy. And continue with her sword. Really sucks that I didn't have the that I didn't read that and I could have gotten a first volley off because she has a fire burst rifle.
Huh.
That has a long range of 96.
Oh yeah, those things are good fun.
Yeah, so that's 4d6 damage AP2. That would have actually been pretty damn
It's
good.
not nothing. Not nothing.
Yeah, would have been pretty good. But either way, so yeah, when she gets close enough to it, she whips out the vibro long sword and switches it on, and goes to take a swipe.
Take a swing. Would you have
Yeah.
turned it? Would she have turned it off in the time? Would she not just been running at it, screaming while holding the sword?
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah. Go ahead, take your swing. Make your fighting roll.
But I did say she got on all fours, which is the
That's
thing
true.
you wouldn't really like. So there's just like a sword imprint on the ground every time everyone like during her stride.
There's just little slots in the ground
It's
where
a
the sword hit
tracker
the
in a
ground.
couple of months is going. A Vrith came through here.
Right.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make your attack roll.
Cool. This is at +2.
Nice.
8.
So that's an 8. That hits. Just a hit.
Cool. All right.
And what is your AP?
10.
So that would be...
And mega damage.
Yeah, that's fine.
It says HW as a trait here. Mega damage, HW powered, minimum strength D8, when unpowered, etc.
I believe the HW is lethal damage, meaning when it's powered, you can't do unlethal damage.
Oh, okay. That wasn't gonna come up.
That's the thing with vibro weapons is that if you have them turned on, technically you can't. They like destroy you at a molecular level. You can't actually use them non-lethally at that point.
Oh, I just thought this was like a. Oh, I forget what it is, but there's a couple of sci-fis where it's just vibrating very quickly to create a friction with the air to create a superheated blade surface. That's what it is.
Oh no, this is like a molecular level like sword.
No, that's the thing, because if it's vibrating like that,
That's
then it
cool.
actually can't melt the blade because it's
No,
heating the air around
So,
it.
so my close combat weapon has the same tags, but it also has a note that I have to specifically turn it on. If not, I can use the handle as an improvised weapon.
Yep.
Oh, you have like an actual like beam saber. Cool.
Yep.
AP 10 damage I just rolled was 11.
Doesn't do anything.
Anything.
Doesn't do anything. This thing is tough.
Fail.
Hold on.
Remember, you can use a Benny to reroll damage as well. Bennies can reroll any roll you make.
Yeah, hold on. I'm looking through all
Just
my
check.
shit.
Let me check my shit.
There could be things that I have.
Probably is things you have.
Yeah, because I know I'm like resistant to arcane damage by like it's like I have -4 to arcane damage and I'm resistant a whole bunch of stacked things. Which I don't know if this is arcane or not.
Its damage would technically be because it's
oh well then I'll figure that out after this turn because
Yeah.
that's gonna come up.
it would technically be that because it's a creature made of spirit and hatred.
Nerves of Steel doesn't have a description, so I don't know what that does.
Nerves of Steel means you don't need to roll for being unshaken.
Oh, that doesn't matter because I'm berserk, so I can't be frightened.
Well, shaken isn't being frightened. Shaken means that you've been combat like bonked in the head and you can't act normally.
Yeah, I think that's also still a thing. I'd have to read it. Yeah, I guess I'll use a Benny.
Right, roll away. Just spend your Benny off your sheet onto the playmat and then roll your damage again.
Cool. There we go.
Yay, more Bennies for me.
The one shot. I don't care.
I didn't add one for Utari's use earlier. The same.
That is the same.
Yep.
It comes with the territory. This like the icon says it's 2d8. That
I
or
believe it's
2d10.
because it's taking because you're berserk. It increases your die size. So
I guess. 'Cause I'm not sure how damage is actually.
that should be
calculated
plus
in
2
here.
damage, isn't it? Because you're berserk as well. So that should be 13.
I don't know if it's because I don't know what die it's taking initially. Because on the icon it looks like 2d10s. I think is that a d10? Yeah, that's a d10. So it looks like 2d10s, but it's rolling a d12 d10. So I don't know where it's getting the d12 from. So I don't know what it's
Your
using.
strength,
My
more than
strength.
likely.
but-
or
okay.
your strength or agility, more than likely, because that's how it bases your damage.
Okay, well, if it was agility, then I'd actually be getting the d12 plus 2, because that's my agility. But so I think it must be strength, because that's
Yeah,
just a d12.
That's right, yeah. So that's cool. So, yeah, unfortunately, you don't do anything. You don't do enough damage to hurt it. So it is pissed at you, however, which you can take as a good or a bad thing, depending on your mood.
I mean, I think she's pretty jazzed for this turn of events, just generally. This is pretty fun.
Fair.
Oh, wait. Yeah, and then she also says ominously, did you know you can break someone's finger with the same amount of force it takes to bite into a carrot?
I knew that fact. I actually did know that.
Yeah. She
It's
says
hilarious.
that. She's an idiot, but that's actually not true.
Yeah. So now it's the dog boy's turn. The dog boy being on his own now.
Singular now, not plural.
The singular dog boy. It's currently frenzied, so it doesn't care. It is going to run into the militia squad, like the militia block that's in front of him, and attempt to use its vibro blade van braces on these things, just like punching, like giant punching daggers.
It's a mall ninja.
Yeah.
It's got the. It's got the.
Oh, sorry, that's damage. I should have rolled to hit first. So let's see if it hits. It does not hit, which is very unfortunate for it. So it doesn't do anything. However, the militia gets to fight back because it's in a melee combat. So let's see if it hits. It does not. That's unfortunate for you guys. At this point, more enemy reinforcements arrive. I'm not going to tell you what does arrive, but I have it written down here. So, that means it's now Aaron's turn.
Okay, so Detect Arcana is still up. So, is there anything that's popped up new on my radar?
No.
Was it last
just the
3
same.
rounds?
Yeah, just the same thing. You see this benign enchantment on the defenses, the giant black Icaric aura around the corrupt, and a lot of magic otherwise.
Okay, so on my way to have a look at the benign enchantment thing, am I passing any bad guys on the way?
No. Everyone is currently holding most people back.
All right, I am going. So, but there's something within 24 range, I would think, or 48.
Yeah, 100%. You can aim at any of the things that are on the list. So you can aim at the Corrupt, you can aim at the Dog Boy, you can aim at the Apocalypse Cavalry Horse or Cavalry Man, or the All-Purpose Heavy Robot. They're all close enough.
I will aim at the Dog Boy.
Cool. Take your shot.
It's going to be blast damage, and I'm going to make it like it's like fire, but it's like white and more radiant, for a better term.
Okay, so you're putting a blast template on the Dog Boy that's currently in melee with your militia friends.
No, because that, I think it does a area effect, doesn't it?
Yep. So if you use a blast template, it essentially means you'd be hitting your militia friends.
Can I aim a blast at the arse of the horse and not hit my pal?
Oh yeah, sure. I'll let you do that. You're talented enough to do that.
Okay, I'm gonna aim a blast at the arse of the horse because that should get the horse and the rider.
Cool. Make your row. Oh. Well,
Hot dang.
that's definitely a
Okay.
raise.
Yes, 1 or 2. So how many dice do I roll?
So you're rolling the damage that's on your blast plus a d6 bonus.
Oh,
Ooh. 12 damage. 13 damage. Do you have any AP?
13 damage. It doesn't say AP, it's arcane.
Cool. So you hit it. I'm going to say that you... Hang on, let me check the horse's... Thingamajiggy. You unfortunately don't hurt the horse. It's quite tough. The barding, as immaterial and mechanical it seems, is quite effective. The rider, however, I'm going to have him make a agility check, which he succeeds. So he stays on the horse, but he's definitely jostled enough that he is currently not very good at defending from KOTOR.
Nice. And I didn't spend any power points on that because I keep rolling insane, and then my movement is still heading towards the apartment.
Yeah, sure. I'm going to say you reach it this turn. So you're at the wall where you can see the ruin inscribed on it. And it reaches out to talk to you. And it says, it initially isn't speaking in American or Elvish or anything you would know, but then it sort of corrects itself almost after a few seconds and says, "Turn me back on. I want to help."
Can I answer?
You can, yeah. Talking's a free action, as is crying and all sorts of things.
I don't like how that was an option.
Will you be helping Matty?
Yes.
Okay, I'll turn you on next turn.
What do you mean next? And then it cuts out.
What's your turn?
Yep. Okay. I'm going to reshuffle the deck just because I think it would make sense. we're going to deal cards to everybody.
My initiative is as shit as it always has been and always
That's
will
actually a pretty decent card, given it's anything from an ace to a, to a joker. There's definitely worse things you can get there. That would mean that
If we're
there.
if we're talking actual numbers, I've gone down by one cut in like chronology each time.
So is a high number better or worse?
Better.
Better. Okay.
It's aces high.
Okay.
Ace low.
Ace is low.
Ace is low. Joker's high. Yeah, that's alright.
Joker's high, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say because that's my brain was thinking that, and I was going like, but that seems like quick is written in reverse. That because it says
Yeah, so in the case of quick, it means that you basically cut out the lower half of the deck, meaning more than likely you're going to go somewhere in the first
anything
third of all
5 and under, I can just get a new card.
Yeah, so if I pulled the 5 for you, I'd have to pull a new card, basically.
Yeah, until I get something above a 5.
Yes. So funnily enough, for some reason, the Empress keeps going first. Empress, your turn. If anyone would like to ask as well, you can have the militia act on a different turn. So keep that in mind. If anything comes up where you're like, I want the militia to go now, they can go whenever you want them to.
I get up.
You get up. That just the only thing getting up costs you is your pace. It costs your move, basically.
Dignity.
You did.
Okay, what's left alive?
There are more things emerging, but right now the ones that you can see are the all-purpose heavy robot, the apocalyptic cavalry horse and cavalryman. There is a corrupt, the giant ball of fire that is currently swinging a fiery sword at Verth.
Come on! I want you to do it.
Hit me!
Hit me! And I'm going to say, because you've got a full like suite of sensors in this thing, there are more things coming out of the mist that might be dangerous.
Wow. Those extra sensors really gave me some good information.
You can
there,
decide to
didn't
hold
they?
your action at any point.
It's it's lowest bidder.
Yeah. Well,
Wow,
actually,
they
in the case of
might
Glitter
be
Boys, it's higher
dangerous.
bidder. So I'm going to say, Bobby, make me a perception roll, or what's it called in the system again? Sorry, my brain is. It is notice. Notice.
Notice.
Make a notice
But
roll.
I don't have it.
I don't have it.
I can grab my D&D character sheet.
I
Yeah,
don't
maybe
know
not.
what's no perception is, but
And since you're in your
guarantee,
suit, you got a +2 to this.
guarantee you I ain't got nuns.
I see shit.
So you got a 6 on that because you're in your Glitter Boy.
You gotta
So
wait, the lens is off.
your sensors pop up with how many targets should this be? 1, 2, 3, 4 new targets that are inside the mist. If you want to take a shot at any of them, I'm going to tell you that there is an equal likelihood that you would kill any of these in any shot. However, there is one that you will not be able to kill with this gun.
Are any of my friends near the horsey?
Yes, KOTOR is.
Would that make me have a disability shot thing?
Yes, because he is in melee with it.
I'm pretty small. You could probably hit the ball of fire without too much
Awesome.
trouble.
You could.
Fine, I'll shoot the ball of fire.
Cool.
Have we fixed my gun?
Sorry, I didn't. I should have done that during the break.
You didn't fix my gun. I'll just go fighting. It's fine.
Shooting.
Shooting.
Throw your gun.
Yeah. Just throw your weapon at him. It's fine.
Full yeet.
So that's +1 because of the stuff. So that's an 8. So that's a raise. Roll your damage and then roll a bonus d6.
Roll high.
Roll high.
That's not terrible.
Rolling, rolling, rolling.
not
Keep those
terrible.
And roll a
D10
d6 as well.
rolling.
Rival.
Talking about-
That's
35.
35. What's your AP again? 10?
Who? Me?
You. Yeah. What's your AP on your gun?
30. Sorry. My gun.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, my AP is 30. I can't remember.
25. I see it here. 25.
Okay, thanks. 25.
Your gun's AP is more than I can physically roll on the dice that I have for my gun's damage.
You ace your damage as well, so technically you could roll 1,000,000 damage. I've seen it happen before.
I'm just
with
saying.
So
dice-wise.
you do 35 damage. Your AP is 25, meaning it has no armor.
I hope not.
There are certain things that have more than 25 armor in this game, but when you're fighting those things, you want a glitter boy.
He's a one shot, Mikey.
He
Oh,
knew
yeah.
he was getting a glitter ball.
Yeah, I knew there was going to be a gun in here that had 5d10 damage plus 5 AP 25 with 100 shots in it. With someone who had a d10 in shooting, this was going to be a nightmare for me. Okay, you kill this thing.
Really?
You hit it in like the center torso, and as your rail cannon passes through it, it like hits what is like this little crystal orb core kind of thing, and shatters it, causing this wail of agony to spread across the battlefield for a second as this thing dissipates back into the magicka. Aaron, when you notice that this thing like dissipates back into the area around you and then vanishes as if it was never here.
Vanish to the shadow realm.
Rith experiences none of that, as she is basically a psychic blank.
Yep.
it just goes away.
Very nice. Actually, speaking of, it's your turn, Worth.
Oh, it's me.
It's you.
Yeah, what's closest to me? What can I sprint at next time and be infectious against?
Well, there is what's about to emerge from the mist. You see a.
In a spawn camp.
You're getting spawn camped. No, you're spawn camping them actually.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
You see a giant furry bipedal werewolf.
Okay, I am a furry, so this is not different than my normal day to day on some servers I'm on.
You're just like, well, shit. However, this one does not look like it's going to use you as the fun chew toy type.
See, you took it there, and that wasn't where I was going. Cool.
Cool. It is slobbering. Its eyes are bloodshot and vicious, and it sees you. And it is bounding towards you very, very quickly.
Okay. I did want to point out something. It's probably too late to matter at all, but pace-wise, your pace is based off what?
Your species and also specific things that can affect it. So, like, there are edges and perks and
Okay. All right.
frameworks.
I was just wondering because I thought it was based off agility and they would have been
No.
different or anything. No. So 12 is what it is. It makes sense.
12 is very high for someone who is a small size and not in any kind of like
Oh,
excess
it's because
power
of my.
armor.
Yeah,
because you're crazy.
It's because I'm crazy. I double my movement of all in distance, horizontal or vertical.
Yep. Speedy.
Yeah. My internet just hiccuped, so I just heard. I think I hear wind or rain. I can't tell.
Maybe both.
Maybe both. Yeah, no, she sprints directly towards the werewolf coming towards her, because the dust closing the time.
Cool.
To contact. Just straight at it.
Nice.
No fear.
No fear. Wearing that T-shirt that says "No fear"
Yeah.
with the shades.
I just realized she also has the thing where she's a crazy, so that means she has to have some sort of adornment. I think she just has a whole bunch of like piercings on her long, like on her ears, like around there, so just jangling as she goes. No stealth, no fear. Sword raised high, goes in for the attack.
Nice. Make your roll.
No negotiations.
We don't do democracy here.
That's not democracy. Diplomacy.
We don't do that either.
That's a very Rith line, actually.
Yeah. So make your attack roll. 7. You don't hit. Oh, 9 you hit.
Yeah, I have a +2 to this. Remember?
Yep. So 9 you hit.
9 I hit. Cool.
There's a +2 to that as well, isn't there?
Yeah, but I think there is a thing I have here where I can reroll 1s on damage.
All right, double check that. Right?
On traits, I think.
Cool.
Trait die. Berserker's attack with reckless abandon. Anytime fighting die is a 1, regardless of his wild die, it hits a random adjacent target, not the original target.
There's no random adjacent target other than yourself, and I'm going to say that you don't hit yourself, even though it would be very funny.
Okay.
Also, I don't think 9 is enough to get through your toughness anyway, right?
9? My toughness?
Yeah.
Toughness. No.
Yeah, you're fine. There's no worries.
Because that's even higher than what it is on the sheet because of this. So yeah.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter. Flatly, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and that is a +2 to that roll, I think.
Yeah, so that means you shake them. So you hit them, but it doesn't do enough damage to wound them, but they are shaken.
Okay.
So they are not capable of acting to their fullest extent next turn.
Okay. I'm going to take the -2 to do another attack. So
roll away.
It'll just be a flat roll because they're shaken, but I want them to be stirred as well.
Ah, yes. Oh. 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 19. So that definitely hits with a raise. So roll your damage and then a d6 bonus. Well, it's 17, but fuck it. Who cares?
Yeah. No, because that was a flat roll.
Oh yeah,
because
you're
at a +2, so that is a 19.
Nice.
I love exploding damage.
It's so good, isn't it? And then roll your d6.
D6.
That's 21 damage.
21 damage.
Spending a Benny to soak.
It's AP 10.
Yeah, I know. I'm spending the Benny to soak. It soaks a wound and doesn't die because of it.
And I want to point out that 7, that original 7 damage roll was also AP 10. So these are.
Oh yeah. No, it doesn't have any armor. It's a werewolf.
Fuck if I know.
It has its natural toughness. It's not like that sort of.
Sees a target.
This is fair. No, I'm telling you that. Yeah, the AP is impressive. However, it doesn't matter at this point.
Cool.
You slice and dice it. You maybe carve off some salami for later, but you don't kill it. Unfortunately, it is barely hanging in there.
Earth normally the one that's always like rubbing her hands or cleaning herself because she has that compulsion to be clean and have like a germophobia and everything like that. It's just doused with blood, like very, very dirty dancing, just getting doused with blood.
That scene in Hacksaw Ridge with the shower, but instead it's blood.
Oh, I haven't seen Hacksaw Ridge.
Great movie. 100% worth seeing.
Worth a watch.
Absolutely.
If it's not on a streaming service I pay for, I normally don't get physical media anymore because it's hard to store. I don't have a place to store it. It's all my RPG books take up the shelf space.
Talk about first world problems, huh?
Yeah, I need a shelf for my movies.
Cool.
I can only push like that once, right? I can't just keep doing it.
You can technically keep doing it, but every time you do it, you get another -2.
Should I do it? Should I do it?
Just fucking do it. Just fucking do it.
Fuck it.
Fuck it. So this is at a -2 instead of a -4. Doesn't hit.
Why was that a single die that popped up there?
I saw a D8 and a D6, D8 and a D6, and the D6 rolled like a 3. I saw 2 of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why it didn't display that.
It only displays your highest. Yeah, it only displays your highest roll when it comes to attacks and stuff like that. Which is why the one for the Vibro Longsword fighting is like a D6 in blue, because it's your wild dice that rolled that high.
That. Yeah, no, I hadn't noticed that. All right, yep, no, couldn't do the 3 attacks.
You tried.
Vrith is jealous, she's overconfident, but she is jealous, having all of her kills being stolen by these random people that are behind her shooting. She is unendingly annoyed right now.
She is edge.
It is just white noise in our brain.
Cool.
She doesn't even quit for this.
It is okay. So it is now the first unit's turn, which means it is the all-purpose robots, the cavalrymen's turn, because all the rest of their friends are dead. All my friends are dead.
Of life has expired.
So the all-purpose heavy robots, it's still trying to unjam its gun. So we're going to make it a repair roll, see if it can do it. It succeeds. So its gun is now back up and running. It is going to point its gun at the glitter boy, because it's the thing that's been sniping its friends, and try to do some damage. It probably won't, but we'll see. It doesn't hit, so doesn't matter. Cool. It's then going to cycle its missile pod. This is its third or fourth shot. This one is going to be a... Oh, would it use that? No, it's just going to use a pulse rifle. It's going to use its heavy mounted machine gun instead. Hopefully don't roll a 1 again. That was close, but it misses. I almost saw it roll a 1 again.
I love it. I would have loved it.
I would have loved it. It would have been so funny. But anyway, so that's its turn. Doesn't do anything. Just shoots off a bunch of shots. Doesn't manage to do any damage. The apocalyptic cavalry horse is going to try and kick KOTOR. Get kicked. What is your parry? Parry the Paplas.
8.
On
8. So it misses, which is fine. And then the... Hang on, let me pull up the...
Parry this, you filthy casual.
You filthy casual. So the cavalry soldier... It has... What is its melee weapon? It has a vibro knife. So it pulls out a vibro knife and attempts to stab KOTOR. It misses. Vehemently.
KOTOR, this Hawkman is just fighting a fucking apocalyptic, like, demon hussar.
Having a great time doing it, too. I mean, hey, it's hard to argue the effectiveness, right?
For legal clarification, KOTOR Howl is nicknamed Bird Boy, not Hawkman.
That's true. Peregrine Lad.
Peregrine Lad.
Kestrel Knave. So, next up is Cobb.
Peregrine Lad, best friends with Ocean Mail.
Yeah.
Cobb, it's your turn, buddy.
Peregrine Lad's most British superhero name.
What is in the range of the Colonel? If nothing, then I'm gonna have to roll something and we'll see what happens.
I'm going to say the only thing within range now is probably the cavalry soldier and the cavalry horse.
Okay. What else is there to shoot?
There is the all-purpose heavy robot, there is the werewolf, and there is the other 3 things that are now emerging from the mist. You see a vampiric entity. However, this one is a gaunt, horrific parody of what humanity is. Its extended jaws are full of fangs and sharp teeth. Its skin is stretched and pale. Its eyes are dramatically sunken and bugged, and they reek of rotten meat.
Me on a Saturday morning.
It does sound like me after a few pints.
I'm trying to think of an unpopular politician that I couldn't come up
yes,
with one for this
all
joke.
of them, at the same time.
Okay. So fine, yeah, no. So I'm gonna.
That's a wild vampire.
I'm just gonna roll as.
There's a whole nother combo.
I'm just gonna quickly roll a spirit.
That's Ratu's flying.
Okay, so what you see is the gun is pulling Cobb forward, but his heels are dug into the ground. He's just kicking up dirt, but he's going to use half of his pace to get closer to be able to shoot the Sakia Stama, the vampire.
I did not realize we was getting political during the stream.
Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna start just fucking taking some shots. What range is this? So
I'm gonna say this is long range.
long range. Okay, so that's what am I rolling at there?
-4.
-4. So let me just double check.
And it's a peacemaker too. It's a long range with the peacemakers. That's like, you know, a football field maybe with those sights.
How long's a football field?
So for me, this is
300 yards.
For me, this is just a straight D12 fight shooting.
100 yards. Fucking.
That's right actually, because the long range on that pistol is
300 yards.
yards.
You've never played football.
Myself. I
You've
corrected
never
myself.
played football before.
No.
Ooh.
So
That's
you
a six.
hit.
Okay.
You don't get a raise, but you do hit. Remind me, who are you shooting at again?
The vampire.
Oh, the vampire.
16 AP3.
16 AP twee. So that's enough to hurt it. It takes a wound.
As a note, because of the rounds in this gun, they do count as silvered, etc. for the because of what
For
the
the
type
purposes
of
of DR and stuff like that,
Yeah, yeah. They count as like being able to hurt and fuck up ghosts and spirits and shit.
Yeah, so that's good, because otherwise you would have done damage to this thing and then it would have immediately have regenerated, because that's how
Yes.
vampires work in this universe.
Yes.
But you do a wound, you see the bullet like catch it in the shoulder, like dead in the shoulder, and it reels back, and you can kind of see it like try to put the arm back into the socket, but then it can't because it's not working correctly, and then its eyes dart up at you, and it lets out this almost vomiting at you as it sprints towards you, ignoring everybody else.
Yep.
good
It goes
Samaritan.
again. The colonel just shoots again.
Like, oh fuck. So that's a
Cobb and
raise.
Cobb would
That's a
curse like that.
Dang.
Okay.
Tarnation.
So a further 12.
And then another d6, because that's a raise, because you got an 8 on the result.
That's a
Which
6.
you're going to need.
If it comes through, that should be a 6. Hello, system. It landed on the corner of the dice tray. So
I wish there was just a button like in some of those like digital like pinball games where you could just like shake the table.
So does this extra die also explode?
Yes, they all explode. Every
Oh,
dice in
okay.
this game explodes.
So
So I'm going to say you do 6, and then you do another... So that'd be 9 damage extra.
yeah. Don't know why
So
it's
that's
not showing up.
21.
21.
It's it. 21. Which means you do 2 more wounds to it. The next shot rings out, hits it in the hip, which causes it to almost like lose its footing as it gets this impact of, heavy lead that's technically holy, kind of, because the colonel doesn't give a fuck. He just wants to kill things.
It's wholly in the Sam
cousin.
Winchester's cult. Well, Samuel Colt's cult from Supernatural.
True.
It's just fucking. It's actually just got binding spells carved to the side of the bullet.
Yes. So the impact hits, it almost falls forward, but it's still standing, but it's moving a lot slower now. It is focused, however, on Cobb. It is ignoring everybody else.
Screaming in fear, the yellow belly Cobb Canada is gonna keep fucking shooting. This time his instincts take over and keep like pressing the colonel's trigger. The
I'm
colonel
tempted to make you roll it untrained because it's you shooting now.
the colonel's elated because he's being told to go, but
Yeah, this is true.
so this one's now going to be at a, because this will actually take the
-2.
negative now, so this will be at -1 because I'm actually a 12 plus 1 here, so this will be, we'll do, I'll just roll a d12 and then we'll -1.
Well, technically, you need to also roll a d6 because there's a wall dice there, because of the fact you're a wild card.
That's a 6.
So that explodes.
So that's a
10.
That's a 20.
So it'd be it's a 12. Well, no, you take the highest roll of the two. So you got an 11 on the d12 and a 10 from the 6.
Oh, they don't add. Right, I see. I see.
So you got a 12, which means you got a raise. So roll your dice, your damage.
I got a
dice with
10.
raised
I got a
damage.
10, not a 12. Because
You're
it's
10,
technically
you're 10.
-1 right now.
Yeah, so it's still a raise.
Okay. Damage die. Oh.
And
low
then your bonus
roll.
d6.
Oh, low roll this time.
So you shake it, which in this instance means you wound it because it's already wounded. So Cobb in his just pure fear and unwildered like flailing manages to pull the trigger on the colonel, and the colonel, elated with the fact that Cobb is the one pulling the trigger, not him. The shot rings out pure. It hits the vampire square in the forehead, causing his head to snap back and it to fall on its back and immediately disintegrate into dust, leaving behind nothing.
Nice. Okay, that's Cobb's turn.
Good job.
Just kill the vampire.
Since that's the third player,
the entire
we
time
want
he's
them
going,
to go.
I'm sorry, sir.
So since that's the third player in the initiative, do we want the militia to go now?
Yeah.
Cool. So there are currently 4 people in melee combat with that dog boy. So it's going to be a D6. Sorry, yeah, it'll be D6 plus 2 each because they're dogpiling. Funny. Oh. Someone's having a good time, it seems. Right. Very good job from that militia, man.
Jesus Christ. 2, 2, 4, 17.
Yeah, so he does that and that. So he does 8 damage with a vibro knife, which means it is a...
Gonna put that doggy down.
Yeah, so you see this, like, fairly road run dude just pull out a vibro knife and stick it into the dog boy's eye and then turn it on. And he just cleaves this thing's head clean off with a flick of his wrist. And then proceeds to pick up his rifle again and start shooting at the things coming from the mist, which you see a ogre is making its way through the mist. This thing is 10 feet tall. It's got tree trunk arms and legs, and it is just chucking giant boulders at you guys from like this giant like baskets thing it's got as it's running forward. They are going to shoot at it because Vrith seems to be handling that werewolf very well. So there was 4 guys, so that means we're down to 14. So that's 3.
Laughing,
6,
rubbing blood into
8.
her fur.
So 14 dice rolls. Okay, so we got 1, 2 raises. So I'm going to roll that damage first. So that would be 12 and 5. And then everybody else, so that would be... this amount of damage. There's a couple... Oh, one militia guy is doing really good. One person did 27, one person did 19. So there's a volley of lasers yet again. There's a yell of fire, and then bang, and you hear a cycle of the rifles almost in unison, like just pierce through the valley. The sound of the din and the fighting as the entire battalion yet again shoots, and then you see the ogre take one in the neck, and then another one in the temple. It's still standing there. It's shaky. It's still not having a great time of it, and you see the Grackletooth pull up the giant laser Gatling cannon and point it at the ogre. At which point, before he proceeds to shoot, he uses the end of the Gatling laser to light a cigar and stick it in his mouth as he proceeds to shoot at this thing. He's got a D10 shooting. 8. So that's a raise. It's got 3d. It's got 5d10 damage plus 6, and then a raise. So that's 32, 6, 38. He depresses the trigger, and this thing spews out a volley of superheated plasma that catches it straight in the chest, and you can see the plasma bolts land, stick, and then melt through the skin and bone. And this thing just collapses as its chest caves in on itself from the weight of the plasma and the molten skin and organ as it collapses forward, almost killing its friends flatly. And now we move on to KOTOR.
Well, we're just gonna keep smashing.
Keep smashing.
The rider is shaken.
Yes, he is.
What does that give me in terms of?
It means he has lower parry, so you can just roll away, and I'll tell you. Oh.
Oh.
You can re-roll that if you want, but
No, I'm just gonna shoot him with my pistol.
fair. Well, you hit with the pistol, just about. So go ahead and make your damage roll. Oh, almost. You said you have 3 AP, right?
Yes.
Okay. You kill this guy. Shot rings out, you catch him square in the chest. He's trying to like get himself back seated on the horse, and he just falls off backwards. You see the ghostly part of his form vanish, while the mechanical parts that are still left there immediately rot and rust into a pile of like auburn brown ash. Very good stuff. Very good stuff, boys.
How does actions in this thing work? So
So technically, you've taken your attack action, and now you can basically move up to your pace for free, or you can take any other action. So maybe make a roll on a skill or attack again at a -2.
I'd like to use one of my psionic powers.
Oh yeah, what would you like to do?
Deflection.
Nice. So just make your psionic skill roll. Oh. So
Double it.
you got a raise there. So that means that it affects you. Go to the powers, and whatever your raise would be in the little like extra area, the little icon on the right that opens up, there's an effect at the bottom, and you take the bottom one because you got a raise. So any attacks made against you are now made at a -4.
Oh yeah.
Deflection is very good. Okay. Then we have Aaron. Your turn.
Okay, I'm just gonna check. Do I believe the wall?
Because you're looking at this thing through the spectral magic view, I'm going to say you can make a faith roll instead of making a notice roll to see if you believe your intuition is correct on this. Oh my god, stop rolling 12s.
No.
No. So you roll a 19, so you've actively seen this ruin before. It's a protection ruin used by various cultures, namely by the Order of the Rose, which are known as like this chivalrous group of healers that you've run across during your trips. They're mostly in the Big Empty, which is what used to be known as New York. It is now a hellhole full of mutants and radiation, but the Order of the White Rose go there because it's where people need the help the most, and you've seen them before. You believe this has been put here for a reason, because obviously when this was built, there was an idea that we're going to need to make sure that whatever comes out of that Nexus portal in the future doesn't get out of here. So you believe the wall.
Alright, honey, how do I turn you on?
there's just press the ruin return.
Okay.
Boop. You press the ruin, and all of the stone walls immediately repair themselves. They all turn back to this pristine, granite-built, like front-facing battlement. And same with all of the little stone encampments out as well. There's also now this reflective, almost aura that stretches above where the stone wall is, of like a magical kind of enchantment that you believe will deflect attacks that maybe would hit otherwise.
Okay, so that was my action, I assume.
No, I'm not going to say pressing a wall is an action.
Okay, can I then... So the ogre's down, vampire's down.
Yes.
Anything else in the mist?
For sure. There are a few things in there that are giving you psionic feedback. Some of them are quite strong.
How close to the mist can I get?
In order to get to the mist, you would have to essentially run across open field. Maybe for 4 or 5 turns to get there.
Alright, never mind. I'll yeet a couple of... I'll basically yeet a fireball in there.
Sure. I want to remind you, there are a bunch of wounded soldiers lying around that you might be able to help as well with your magic and powers and stuff as a healer.
I've got to touch those, so I'm heading back to them, but I don't think I'll make it this turn.
Sure.
Unless you tell me that I will, and then in that case...
Your pace is 6. Yeah, I'm going to say you can make it to them in this turn. You can definitely make it to them.
So is the big buddy lizard person injured?
No, he's fine. He's having a great time. He's smoking away on his cigar, shooting things. Having a great time.
Alright, I'll hit one of the downed-looking soldiers with a heal.
Cool. Hang on.
So the system's interesting. Little kooky.
Back in a bit.
I kind of like the kind of almost pokery aspect of it, and it's kind of we kind of all have to kind of bet on our turns a little bit.
It's definitely a veneer of that, yeah. I like that.
I like I like the fact like we haven't used it as much, but the bennies like on an extended campaign, trading those bennies like is got to be a thing because obviously giving them to the GM is kind of bad. So
Yep.
Yeah. It's kind of like with Zweihander for Star Trek.
yeah.
Yes. Okay. Aaron, have you made your roll to do the healing?
Not yet.
Cool. Oh my god. Okay, so since you rolled so well, I'm going to say that because of the very innate magic of this area, you managed to pull enough magic together to like do a burst heal, and like this 5 or 6 people who got like knocked down or maybe caught on a little bit of fire because of the corrupt are coming back to their feet, picking up their rifles and getting back ready to fight. So you now have 7 more militiamen.
Nice, and once again, because I cannot roll below a 12,
Yep.
I didn't spend any magic on that.
Nope. So far, you've used a grand total of 0 power points. Which is great fun. Okay, now we're going to deal some more cards. I kind of hope one of you guys pull a Joker, but no one has pulled one yet. Oh, that's sad. Okay. So, Cobb is going first, followed by Aaron, followed by Kotar, followed by Verth, followed by Empress last. Cool.
God, it's like everybody's getting really good. Like for somebody who's quick, I've been consistently middle of the pack when it comes.
It's
to
kind of hilarious how none of you guys have, like, aside from this one time that you've pulled an ace rival, no one has pulled anything like below a 4.
I have things for pulling jokers, so I would have loved to have pulled a joker.
I kind of want you guys to pull a Joker because I want to see the effect.
Yeah.
Because I've not pulled Jokers for any of my guys either, which is why I haven't been adding Bennies or like pluses to anyone. So like maybe I know the deck has them. I have it set up to have it in the deck.
So for instance, on Joker roll turns, I do double damage.
Yep.
I would love that.
Nothing
right
happens
now.
for me. I just go first, and then I just like Wraith is just here for the fighting.
Fair. Just here for the fun.
Yep.
Okay. So
he's here to spill blood and
first
share
up-
facts. She forgot her facts.
she forgot all her facts. So first up is actually the first group. So it's the all-purpose heavy robot and the horse now because the rider is dead. So the all-purpose heavy robot is going to shoot at Hal with both of his weapons. Hits first one. You take 14 damage. Oh, he's not here. I picked the wrong person to shoot at. No. Okay, well, I'll just roll my dice and then we can deal with that later. It won't kill him, I don't think. That might kill him. That might kill him. We'll find that out in a few minutes, folks. And then
you could have just said it was shooting me.
I mean,
I'm here.
yeah, why not? Why not? Verse, so for 14 damage. Does that do anything to you? It's AP4.
AP4. So the little shield icon is my armor.
Armor.
And
Yeah.
then the thing behind that's my toughness.
Yes.
well,
So your
I-
toughness
I-
is your base toughness
have-
plus armor. and
Okay.
you lower that.
So I have armor 7.
Yes.
So
4 of that is negated, so it can lower your total toughness by 4.
does the 7 include the total toughness?
Yes.
So okay, so I have 20 total, and then so 17.
No, sorry, your 13 includes your total toughness. So the
Okay,
7
that's why
is
I was
just to tell
asking
you
if the
how.
armor is included. That's why.
Yeah, no, sorry, your armor is included. It's just the 7 with your armor is to tell you how much of your toughness is made up of armor. So that way, when people
Okay.
hit you with AP, you know how much armor you can lose.
Okay, so -3 off of that is so 10.
10. So that's a 14, which is exactly 1 wound.
Let me check here.
I think.
Probably right. I do have evasion.
Oh, that's a -1 to hit.
-2.
-2 to hit.
Me.
So the first one definitely wouldn't hit, and neither would the second one. So no damage there. So the apocalyptic cavalry robot is going to. I'm going to say he can only reach Hal.
Saved you, Utari. Hold on, let us get I saved you, Utari. I took the damage that you were gonna take out of goodness of my heart, and then didn't
Well,
take the damage.
My deflection didn't help then, it seems.
So the cavalry horse can't actually reach anyone else. Also, you killed its rider. So I'm going to say it's going to attack.
Where is the
Kotor?
horse and the rider?
It crit
No,
failed.
it's not.
I'm going to spend a penny on that because I have them. Yay.
That would have been great if it was another one.
Yeah. So what is
It's
your
just his tame
parry?
at that point?
What is Hal's parry statistic?
Did you account for the deflection? Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, so just hit. So it's -4. that's fine. Doesn't hit. I spent a penny on it, but I don't care. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Doesn't
It's
bother
fine.
me. Doesn't
bother
bother
me,
me.
yeah.
Doesn't bother me. It bothers me a
Bothers
lot.
me a lot. Actually, it bothers me a lot.
And that one's still green.
And that one is in fact still green.
It's sad that
Okay.
that's almost half a decade old at this point.
Crazy. The universe. I need you to stop moving so quickly, please. Okay, so that's the end of those turns. And technically, actually, the next up is the werewolf and the other thing you guys haven't seen.
All right.
So
Well, the werewolf is shaken.
the werewolf is shaken, so it needs to make a spirit roll. It's got pretty decent spirit, I think. Yep. Succeeds.
Almost a one.
So it is next to you. So it's just going
There
to.
you go.
Does this thing have regeneration at all?
Try.
Are your weapons silver?
Are my weapons silver? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I have. You're the one who set up the character sheet. I have a vibro longsword, so whatever
So
that
no.
counts as.
You don't. So you can wound this thing. Also, by the way, I should actually. You know what? Nah, it's fine. It'll be grand.
Stop
not
pulling
to worry.
punches. Stop pulling
It's
punches.
not to worry. No, I should technically make you roll
Hit me
for
in the
infection
mouth.
because you're covered in werewolf blood right now.
How
So
is
that's the
that one-
thing.
I mean, this is a one-shot character, and if we come back
Yep.
to it, I would not say no to a mutant rat crazy werewolf.
That's a hell of a sheet
That's
anyway.
a hell of a sheet to give me. To give
Yep.
me.
to give you. Yeah, of all people to give you. All right, it's going to attack you twice with its claws. Oh. Does a 17 beat your parry?
I have a parry of 0, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh,
Because I have
well,
a
I
parry
still have to
2.
roll the
Or no,
dice
no, no,
because-
I have a parry 6. Never mind, because we fixed the
Okay,
sheet.
so you have a parry
So-
of 6, so that
Which
means
is a parry 4 now, because
parry
my parry
4,
goes
so
down.
it's a raised.
I do
So I
have
rolled
evasion
that
plus
damage.
2, so I don't know what that does.
It would have just lowered the to hit, so it would have been a 15 instead of a that, and then a d6, 6, 10, so 16 damage. It doesn't have any AP because it's just claws.
Okay, well, I have. Okay, so if it doesn't have AP, does 7 armor just negate that off of my total, and then it goes?
No,
through, or
so
what?
you just go your total is 13, and the 7 is from your armor. So
Okay. So I have 13 toughness.
right, so you're technically shaken from that attack.
I
Because it
cannot be
doesn't-
shaken.
It doesn't do enough damage to wound you, so it doesn't do anything then.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I don't get shaken. I need to actually read this. Any type of fighting dies. Blah, 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 blah. Berserkers. Fire concentration. War, ignores all wound modifiers while berserked. Parry's reduced by 2. Yeah, I understand that. I'm pretty sure I had something that just made it so I just keep going.
Just keep going.
I just keep going. It might be not Nerves of Steel. Nerves of Steel? No. Arcane resistance, combat reflexes. Half the things here don't have the descriptions on the sheet, so fuck if I know.
Yeah, it's not great. Well, while you find that, we'll move on to the next person because it now actually goes to Cobb.
Well, if it's shaken, what do I do?
You just have to make a spirit roll at the start of your next turn if you want to act normally. That's it. Oh yeah, that's right. Actually, I forgot. There's the other friend who's around.
Yeah, sure. We'll just say I'm shaken. I'll just remember
Cool.
that. I don't know where to put it on the sheet. Oh, remember it.
So, Cobb,
Yeah.
make me a notice roll.
What?
Quit? I don't do that noticing stuff.
So I don't have no. Oh, I do have notice.
Yeah, you should have noticed as like a baseline because it's a
Oh,
stat.
I thought you were in character when you were about to say it. I don't have no notice.
I ain't got no
Poor
notice.
grammar.
Yeah. Oh boy. Okay, you rolled well there. So 11. So you do spot this before it gets any closer.
Here's a hell of a drug.
Fear is a hell of a drug.
I sees it with my wide-eyed, wondering face as I scream down the barrel of a pistol.
Literally, you're like, what the fuck are you doing? So you see out of the corner of your eye, you initially think it's just like a mirage, like it's some of the dust, it's some of the blood, it's some of the battle delge of the combat. But then it comes into focus. You see a insectoid called a shikti.
Huh. A what?
A shikti, it's called.
Right, okay.
They are a towering hive insectoid beast. They have wings, extra limbs, insectoid heads with large multifaceted eyes. This one is gray in color, so it blended in quite nicely with the mesa and the background of dust.
Okay.
And you see it is currently making its way towards the Empress.
Right.
Holding up 2 giant swords with 2 of its arms, and then the third arm looks like it's about to throw a spear at it.
Oh.
Like this giant...
Is it Grievous?
No, it's well, kind of.
Yeah.
If Grievous was actually a bug, yeah.
Another head for my collection.
It's pre-botted Grievous.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's pretty botted Grievous, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna turn around and start fanning it, essentially. No. I do not do well with bugs and insects. They get in my teeth when I ride. I'm dealing now with this bug insect thing as it goes to skin me alive.
He's singing to himself
yeah,
the whole time.
Well, so, yeah, that's what he's doing. It's
Yeah, Cobb, famous stage actor from back in the day.
Famous stage actor, indeed. So yeah, you can
It's a
roll
remnant of
your
himself.
shooting dice for this.
So this
You're
is
technically at a -4 because it's technically invisible right now.
I ignore up to -4 points of cover with trick shooter. So
Yep, you're fine. You're going to bounce a bullet off the glitter boy and hit it.
Yes, that's the perfect idea. All the bullets are just ricocheting
Gotta
off
curve the bullet.
off the Empress.
Indeed.
They're all the bullets. The Empress is probably thinking I'm just shooting at them, and I'm just like, yeah. Okay. Okay. So first shot. Oh, it's a bit naff.
You still hit though.
Oh,
It's not a raise,
no,
but you hit.
I was gonna say, you know what? Have one of my bennies. I've got 5 of these things.
All right, go on. You spend your Benny then off your sheet.
Boom. That's better.
You also have a land, don't you?
I do have Elan.
Which gives you a +4, an extra +2 when you use a Benny to reroll.
Oh, so that's a 14.
technically.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Elan! Let's go.
Yep.
Like a fucking Frenchman just
So that's a
shouting
raise.
the lines at Waterloo. Okay, cool. So that's a 9
And a
plus
D6.
3.
What's your AP?
3.
Sorry,
Right.
not quite there.
All right. Well, I'm gonna shoot her again with double tap. So
Yep. Okay, another raise.
oh.
Give us that D6. Hopefully you like ace it like 3 times.
Oh no.
So what did you get? I can't see that dice. You just
It's
rolled.
a 3 for some reason because it
Okay,
landed
so it's a
on
9. So yeah,
Yeah.
unfortunately, both of your shots ping off of its carapace. It's quite like you think, okay, I'm gonna like deflect the shot
It's because I'm
off of the side of
ricocheting
this
them, yeah.
thing, and you're gonna ricochet it into the chest, but it ricochets off of a hard piece of carapace, and it now turns to look at you. Fuck.
How far away? Does it look like it will close the distance in this turn?
How well did you roll on your notice again? You got
11.
an 11. I'm going to say it could definitely hit you with the throwing spear, but you don't think it would get close enough to actually like engage you.
Well, Cobb Canada did so bravely retreat his ass out of here. And then once
Okay.
I've finished my movement, I'm just gonna. Can I whistle for my horse?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Buttercup, Miss Buttercup, I'm gonna need yous.
Yep, she comes around.
Cool.
She's been helping with like moving bodies around and helping out stuff like that.
Yeah.
Great time. She's having a great time. So now it's the. I'm just going to call them the warrior because that's actually easier than pronouncing their actual species
no.
name.
Warrior.
So
It's a wrestle.
I was just about to say it. Apparently, I ignore penalties as well when running away and shooting.
Yeah, you said that before.
Oh
yeah.
boy, so I should just like keep sprinting and shoot while I'm sprinting. But okay, no.
Cool. So the warrior is going to throw its spear at Cobb. Can it do that? No. But what it can do is it can spit acid at you. So it's going to do that instead. It's a raise. So Cobb, you take 17 points of damage, AP 8.
So
You broke up the balls.
I have a toughness of 15.
Yep.
Well, it's 5 armor, 10 thingy.
Right, so you ignore the 5 armor, so it goes down to 10 toughness.
Right, because it's it's AP 8.
Yes.
So how much damage am I needing to? How many wounds am I needing to soak here?
2.
Or whatever. Okay, so I'll spend 2 bennies to soak those.
You just need to spend 1 Benny and then make the roll. So you roll your vigor dice when you spend the Benny. If you succeed, you soak 1 wound. If you get a raise, you soak 2.
Ah, I see. That's a 6 and a 4.
So you soak both the wounds.
Okay, so that means I don't take the wounds, right?
You take no damage.
Cool.
Essentially, is how that works. So this thing spits acid at you.
It just burns a hole through my hat.
You pull the hat off your head. and block
Oh,
it.
shucks, that's my best hat. Oh, well. Puts it back
Better
on.
that than my face, I guess.
Yeah.
It is then going to. It's then going to attack the Empress in melee. Let's see how well this does. Rival, what is your character's parry? Parry.
Where is that?
Should be on your main page traits in the derived stats. So directly below your attributes, there's a bunch of derived stats. Parry should be there. 2. Okay,
I'm a walking tank. I don't tend to parry shit.
this is true. You can, however, carry great swords. So that's a raise. And it gets 3 of these attacks. Second raise. 3 raises. So 1 damage. Plus that. What is your armor value is 30, right? I think.
35. My outer armor's 30.
Right, cool. So you have 30 armor, AP 8, so that puts you down to 22. So that would be 27, because you have 5 base armor, correct, I believe. So you do more than 27. So that's a 16, so that doesn't do anything. Doesn't do anything. This one might, depending on... Nope. So all 3 of the attacks hit your outer armor, and while they, like, you know, bounce off you and they feel like they impact with force, they don't go through the outer shell of your Glitter Boy's gleaming armor. However, you are now engaged in melee.
I put up my middle claw.
You're doing it at the window. You're not actually. It's not your robot. It's you at the window. Right, cool. So then we go to Aaron. Your turn.
Any more people to heal?
No.
Q. Okay. Can I hit the ass of the horse again?
You can. Also, this is your third turn of having the sight up, correct?
So, it's fourth, so it's down now.
Okay,
Because
cool.
I put it up, and then I headed towards the wall, and then I talked to the wall.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah. So I just wanted to check on that. You're good. Go ahead and roll your blast. Your holy blast. Oh, thank God, no 12.
I'm gonna use a Benny because
Why not? So I got a Benny because you used one.
did I hit it?
Yeah, 4 hits. You don't get your raise bonus, but you do get a hit.
6 arcane damage.
That's unfortunately not enough damage. Then we go to the werewolf. He is going to... Quite simply, he has no other option other than to keep attacking Verth. So he's just going to do that. So 13
Evasion.
hit.
-2.
So 11.
11. Okay. I parry 6.
So that's a raise. So that's an 8,
AP.
which is just... sorry, no, that's just a hit. I'm just doing my 2 to hits first.
Oh.
So 8 to hit would hit your parry, but it wouldn't be a raise. So the first one is a raise with the extra d6. So that is 10, 3, 13 damage. No AP.
13 toughness.
So it hits, so you're shaken. And since you haven't technically gone yet, that's your second shaken, which means you take a wound.
Does that mean I'm no longer shaken now that I have?
Yeah, technically you're no
wounds?
longer shaken once you've been wounded.
Okay. I suffer no ill effects from being wounded.
From being
so-
wounded, correct, yes.
Yeah.
And then the second damage... 16.
Toughness remains the same at 13.
Cool.
with
So you take
7
another
armor.
shaken. So you are shaken again.
Okay.
Cool. That's the werewolf's turn. Kotor, your turn.
I'm charging and hit things.
Right. So there's the horse that's still following you, quite mad at the fact that you killed his rider.
Oh yes, yeah.
There's the werewolf, which is currently engaged with Verth. There is
Does the horse have a name, or is it a horse with no name?
the horse,
It's a horse with no name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No name.
and there's
Okay,
there's
in
the
that
warrior.
case, let's deal with the horse. That's
Cool.
I'm tied up in combat with. First of all, I would like to cast Smite.
Go right ahead and roll your psionics. Oh. Raise, very nice.
Oh,
So now you can do the same thing with psionics. You can go onto the little dragon bit and you can click the bottom
damage
effect.
plus 4.
Yeah, you get 4 extra damage for having your smite at a higher level. What does your smite look like when you cast it?
It makes my side blade all glowy.
It's already glowy. It's even more glowy.
It's
It's a
extra
different
glowy.
kind of glowy.
It's
It's no longer a
RGB now.
common. It's no longer common. It's uncommon glow.
Yeah, it's no longer gray. It's now blue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Or
Cool.
Goes from green to blue.
Yeah. So now you can make you've add your smite damage. You can go ahead and make your attack rolls if you want. That is a hit. So that's
14.
14 total damage.
AP
That
8.
is AP 8. Yeah, so you cleave the horse in two. in the middle. Yet again, the same thing happens where like it separates and then the ghostly bit like vanishes into the ether while the metallic bits rot on the spot and turn into like a browny, rusted sort of dust.
Nice.
Very nice. And then we go to the woman in question, Verth.
Cool. I became unshaken and then reshaken again.
So make a spirit roll.
Make a spirit roll. I get any bonus? I don't get any bonus or anything. I just roll the die.
Yeah,
Right.
you don't get any negatives for being wounded. Is your big thing here. So you're just rolling at a base. Perfect, you pass. So no worries.
That should have also been an 8. I don't know. 'Cause wounds don't
Yeah,
matter.
no, that's
So-
it's ignored on that.
No, it isn't because I rolled an 8.
Oh, all right. Keep that in mind. Cool. So you got an 8, but it doesn't really matter if you get a raise or not. You still passed.
Cool.
So you're good.
Awesome. Yeah, I keep attacking this thing, so it goes away.
Cool.
So that is what I'm going to do. So continue with the Vibro Longsword, which, by the way, I was reading up on it. There's a whole bunch of different universes that you have Vibro weapons and everything. Favorite is BattleTech, which Vibro weapons are thermal weapons because they heat up from the blades so much that they just burn you as they go in.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you're trying to hit him with the 4.
No, that was a 5 because again it says wounds -1, ignored +0.
Right. Its
So,
parry is higher than that.
its parry is higher than that. What and the wounds, like it's just a negative to the rolls. It doesn't like negate dice or anything like that.
No, just a negative to
Okay.
your rolls. Just for every level of wounds you have, you get an extra -1. So at 3 wounds, you would have -3. At -1, you have 1, 2, 2. Sort
Okay.
of thing. But in your case, since you have nerves of steel and you're crazy, you ignore all of them.
Okay. I'm going to, just so we don't have to like keep mentally doing this, I'm going to take the wound off my sheet. I'm just going to put a note in there that I have 1
Yeah, that's fine.
wound, and
No worries.
I'll put it in the notes section, and that way. Get rid of that. Cool. So that didn't hit.
No.
Even with the +2?
Welcome to Natural 6!
With +2, no, still one hit.
This is episode 5.
Not a 6. Okay. Well, I'm going to continue to attack.
Fair enough.
And
Roll
do
again.
a flat roll there. Yeah, something's up. Something's up because that's supposed to be, because that's rolling a D6 and a D8 instead of my normal, which should be a D12 and a D8 on this.
Your fighting's a D8.
The fighting's a D8.
Yeah.
Usually it's rolling a higher dice than that. Because remember, I was commenting how it was a different die between them. My strike die.
That's for your damage.
My damage.
Yeah.
It's weird. Because I was alright. Well, yeah, I can't really do anything. Then I guess I could just use a Benny, I guess.
Yeah, sure, go ahead. Oh, there you go. That's what you're looking for. That hits. And it's a raise, too. So roll your damage and then roll a bonus d6.
Cool.
Okay, that's enough to hit and kill. Well done. How do you kill this thing?
I think she just stabs it into like it's probably just stabs it into the side of the head through, and she's just like laughing and watching it because she's crazy at this point and bloodlust.
Fair. Make a vigor check.
Vigor.
Yep, vigor.
Vigor. Cool.
Okay.
11. Do I still have the ability to move?
Yes, moving is free once you're out of combat.
Cool. She's going to sprint towards the nearest enemy.
Yeah, you sprint towards the nearest enemy. That would be the murder wraith that is currently emerging from the mist.
No fear.
No fear.
No fear.
Right, you guys need to give me 1 second because there's a car alarm going off outside, and it's not mine, but I need to reset it.
I was wondering whether that was here or somewhere else.
I could
was
see
definitely
Mikey's.
somewhere else.
I could see Mikey's mic keying up.
Well, whilst that's Mikey's gone, thank you, Lambert, for the raid.
Yeah. Yeah, Midge, we had a raid. We had about 40 people show up.
Nice.
Nothing.
Nice. Nice. We don't normally bring them out in the broadcasts, so it's just one of those things that I'm just so tuned off to when we're doing TTRPG. But yeah, but thanks for the raid. But I'm kind of hoping we do revisit this world at some point, just because I'm really enjoying my character, and I want to explore more of his cowardliness. And just like the dumb shit I can do with this guy.
I'd love to play Vrith like in an actual full session where role playing has to happen out of combat.
Yeah.
I think that would be hilarious.
Just like a little bit of that. That's what I just want some role play, you know.
That's offensive as a rat.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
If it was any other day of the week. Anyway. So a murder wraith is a altered biological and neurological mix of juicer, which is been pulled back from death to create an undead, like, amalgamation of what you'd imagine a juicer would be. It specifically mentioned the Federation's Grim Reaper cult, because that's the only way to bring these things back. Necromancy is widely considered incredibly immoral, incredibly evil, incredibly illegal, where laws matter. So there has to be something else around here. And moments later, emerging from the mist, you see this dark-robed, cloaked individual who brings their arms up, and all of the dead creatures in the battlefield rise back to their feet.
Mikey, we have 15 minutes.
I know. I'm aware. I am, in fact, aware of the situation here. And I have planned this perfectly.
We're gonna strike on our grid squares. This broken arrow does.
Pull out a flare and just go, put the biggest bomb you can on this flare as you're running into the combat.
This is where someone stands up and shouts out, "Stand by for Titanfall."
Stand by for Titanfall.
Brett just looks at everybody. Hey, no, call your hits. So everybody gets. It's for all the airsofters out there.
Yep. Yep. Cool. So you sprint towards this murder wraith because it's the closest enemy to you.
It's a target.
It's a target. Because when you're sprinting,
it's beat red. Her brain is buzzing. She just needs more blood to calm it down.
As you're sprinting, the things haven't come back from undeath yet, I guess would be a good way to put it. So you sprint forward. You are within melee range of it, I'm going to say, because you're sprinting fast and you're trying to get close. And also it's emerging from the mist.
Pace 12.
Pace 12, etc., etc. It is now Empress's turn.
Am I still in melee combat?
Yes.
I don't think I have a sword.
You have your fists.
Yeah, you are power.
No, I do. I have a scythe forearm vibro blade.
Yeah, you have a fucking built-in vibro blade in your forearm.
Yay!
Yay!
for context in my head, all vibroblades just sound like an electric toothbrush. The sound wise. Yeah, but they are the most dangerous fucking things you can think of.
Also, this one's like the size of a small building, so it's definitely super loud. 6 against its parry. It hits, just barely. $18 damage. AP is...
Oh, for this?
Yeah, for the sword. I think it's 8.
8.
Yeah. Mathematics are difficult. 12. So you deal 2 wounds. So you slash your blade, you turn to it, you flick your wrist, the blade flicks out from like between the 2 knuckles in your hand, your power armor's hand. You swipe, you catch it straight across the chest, and it's like that scene in Predator where the dude like cuts himself across the chest because he's a badass. And it reels in pain and yes, lets out this shriek of "How dare you hurt me?" sort of thing. He's not like hurt. It's more of a "Why do you?" Meow.
I'm a cat.
Meow.
I don't need a reason. That is my reason.
Yeah, you're like meow. Anyway, so now we're doing our final turn here. Aaron, we're drawing you a card. Please let have one of these be a Joker. Please. Please. There you go. KOTOR, you drew a Joker. So what that means is I give you a Benny. Congratulations, you've earned a Benny from pulling a Joker. You also get a +2 to all attacks and +2 to all damage made this turn.
Oh, I got nice.
Yeah.
Just what I got.
So that goes there. KOTOR, you're also going first because you pulled the Joker.
Excellent.
Aaron, you're going last because you pulled the 5.
It's a
Unfortunate.
new big thing turn up, didn't we?
KOTOR, you see all of the things that you have currently killed up until this point get up. All of them have egregious wounds. The only things that don't come back from the dead are the 2 ghostly mechanical things. So the Apocalypse Riders, they don't come back there. They were undead already, and I think it goes against the social contract for me to bring back an undead. At that point, I'm just undeading the undead and making it an alive.
Where am I?
Yeah, it's just what the fuck. Anyway, so everything else is back up. It's ready to fight. There's glowing blue eyes being shone out towards everybody.
It just leans up. I just grew fucking lungs.
Yeah. What the fuck? Yeah. So it's your turn. You get a +2 on all your attack rolls, +2 on any roll you make, and +2 on damage this entire turn.
I guess I'm gonna have to take the cavalry thing because I'm still stood there. And that
Oh no, the cavalry thing is dead.
Oh, is
It
it
didn't come
dead?
back. Yeah, it didn't come back because it's undead.
Alright, okay. What's the
You can't-
nearest thing that is back?
It's probably a tie between the dog boys and the werewolf.
I'll go after the dog boy.
Cool. So go ahead and make your roll, sir.
Charging gives me a +2 as well, doesn't it?
We do. So you're at a +4 to hit. Well, technically you're at a +6 to hit. No, sorry, you're. Yeah, no, you're not. Sorry, that's wrong.
No,
So your
charge
strike
plus
blade.
charge.
Cool. Then you roll your damage at a raise, which is technically at a +6 because of your smite and your Black Joker. So that would be 12. That's an 18 damage, which is definitely enough to kill one of the dog boys.
That D6 should explode.
Oh, it should, yeah. Why didn't it explode? 20 damage. We'll round it up nicely for you. So you definitely kill one of the dog boys with a swipe of your side blade. You see the soul that this necromancer had attached to this dog boy sink back into the ground, almost thankfully, as it vanishes back up towards the Nexus.
Oh, thank goodness. I'm doing good work.
Yep.
Rather than like causing more suffering. Justice. Right, I'm gonna shoot the other one.
Cool. Go ahead and make yourself a shooting roll.
Oh, I forgot to add the modifiers.
Don't worry about it. You got a 10, so that would be a 12 because you don't technically get a charging roll you don't get a charge bonus for shooting. So you get a raise though. So go ahead and roll your damage with a raise plus 6.
Why don't I not shot? Come on.
So that's 11 plus 6 is 17, which is enough to kill another one. So the same thing happens. Obviously, you snap your pistol around, you catch him in the side in the forehead with this one. It goes down, another soul leaves. Next up, we have the Murder Wraith, who is going to attack Verth. It has a Vibro Longsword as it dives into attack.
Just want to check. Ace is lowest, right? Or is it highest?
Ace is lowest. That's correct. Ace is
I should have gotten a new
Yo.
card.
Oh, okay, that's fine. We can roll you.
Yeah, because again, I'm thinking another new card. I get it until there's above a 5.
2.
I'm clearing the deck
10.
out for you.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, but this is fine because you would just do this, really. It just does that, which is fine. So it puts Aaron last, but it's fine. Also, that's a lot of cards you have to draw. Anyway, it's going to attack you with a Vibro Longsword. It gets 3 attacks. Oh. Okay. Yeah. I don't think I need to ask on that one.
Let me check.
Just maybe. So that's 17 damage, which, if I remember correctly, means it wounds you?
I have 13 toughness, unless there's AP.
It does have AP. It has AP 10.
Okay, then it goes through all my armor, which is 7 of that 13, so I have
4.
Well, no, because I have 13 and then 7 off.
Oh,
of that
7,
13.
6.
Yeah, 6.
So 6. So 6 from 17 means 1, 2 wounds.
I'm dead. That's 3 wounds total.
You have a Benny still to use, so you can use the Benny to soak.
1 wound or all wounds? Just
up to 3 if you roll enough. If you roll high enough.
Okay, what do I need to roll?
Vigor.
Vigor?
Yep. Oh. 10. So you soak 2 wounds. You take no damage.
All right. So I just have 1 wound still.
Yep. It's going to attack again. Oh, come on, dice.
All right. This is cinematic.
18.
The crazy fucking rat is getting stomped.
That's 36 damage. So that maxes out at 3 wounds. I can't do any more than 3 wounds.
I already have 1 wound, so the soak took 2 wounds. I still have the 1 left over, so there's 3 wounds. I have 4 wounds I've taken, so I am dead. Which, by the way, funny thing is, after this turn, my berserk went away because it's only 5 turns that I can maintain it before it goes away. And with my character, that means I had to roll smarts to come back from berserk after losing it and regaining it, but at -2 because of my framework. I have smarts of 4. So
yeah, it wouldn't have been a good time. And this
I
is
can't
why
do anything until afterwards. So this is perfect.
This is why murder rates are a bad time.
Yeah,
this is why murder rates are a bad time.
Welcome to she has clarity and she's like begging this thing. She just gets cut in half and then just dies.
just decapitated. Just done. And at this point, and I don't want to make this seem like it's targeted, but the murder wraith moves forward towards the next person who is on
like it's targeted, kills a character, and then moves on.
It's going towards KOTOR. It doesn't have enough speed to get there. The Necromancer goes. It's going to use deflection because it's smart. It doesn't work. it's going to re-roll because I have a bunch of bennies. Very nice. It's a raise. So that is +4. It's going to then use... Yeah, I think that's it. It thinks it's winning, so it's going to take a shot at KOTOR. It hits. Oh, sorry, you have deflection, right? On at -4, so that doesn't hit. So no worries, no worries. That's its turn. And then, just as you think you might not make it all the way through, you guys are... Hang on, sorry, I need to find something here. Here we go. As you hear this thing running towards you, you see Vert's body slump to the ground. You hear a sonic boom as an F-35 Raptor goes overhead. And 2 Shrieker missiles come out and impact where the murder wraith is, basically turning it into mist. The next thing you hear is a crack of lightning, followed by the crack of thunder, I guess, because lightning doesn't make a noise. As another individual wearing what looks like a full flight suit, full technical suit with this glowing slitted helmet that goes down basically past where the eyes would be on either side if it was human. And you see this lightning bolt shoot out of its hand and hit the necromancer square in the face as it turns to ash as well. He lands in the middle of the field as Empress, you see your assailant be turned into mist by 50 BMG sized flechette as Rex turns up, and he looks up at you and just gives you like a firm nod, a firm appreciative nod of good work. And at this point, a wave of allies come in to help you guys out. And that's where we end the stream. You guys succeeded.
One turn quicker.
You guys succeeded. You held the pass.
I was gonna spend the rest of my turn as soon as I got it to get on my horse and run the fuck away. But yes, so thank you everybody for watching yet another one shot here from the Component Cast. Big round of applause, everybody, to SurelyOnlyMikey for his first outing as a GM on the channel. So yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, but podcast filmed in front of a live studio audience.
Live! Oh, God. That would be interesting. But yes, all we've got left to do tonight is to say thank you to those who've been here. Obviously, thank you to SurelyOnlyMikey for GMing this one shot. I've also been joined by the wonderful Commissar Roach, UtariOnzo, Red Moogle, RivalZoneGaming. I've been Midgeman. We've been the Component Cast. We'll be back next time. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Bye.